untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, to my left, we have a man that really needs no introduction, for he is known the world over. It's the one, it's the only, it's Pops.
Let's go ahead and start the week off in the right way, and let's talk some boxing.
So listen, we have a very, very good show planned ahead for you guys today. You know, if you're watching the playback, you know, the playback later on, please smash that like button. But before we get into the subject that we're talking about, because I do have a lot to say about what was disclosed today by David Benavidez's manager, Sampson Boxing, in regards to the Demetrius Andrade fight. There is a lot to unpack. There's a lot to say. Before I get into that, let me just give you guys some programming reminders. We're going to be live every weekday this week, Monday through Friday. So Monday through Friday at night around this time, every week we will be live. So make sure you guys don't make no plans and you take some time to join us, talk some boxing. Saturday, you guys are getting not one, but two live fight reactions. Obviously, in the afternoon here in America, we're going to have the Amir Khan-Kell Brook fight. This is a fight that we've been waiting for a long time. So I'm glad to be going live for that fight, and we will be live for that fight. So make sure you guys join us for that. And then at night, we're going live for the DAZN card featuring Jaime Munguia as he looks to continue his journey in the middleweight division as he takes on the American Demetrius Ballard, who is against all odds. So we'll be live both those fights, and that's what it is. So before I get into the subject, Pops, any thoughts, any opening statements you want to give?
Yeah, man, I just think that we waited so long for us to go on to the show. The letter of the Khan and Brook fight, we'll get to that when we get there. I'm really excited about that. And I'm really excited about this fucked up news.
You're excited about it? I don't know if you can be excited about it.
I'm excited. I'm
fired up.
Fired up because this guy's the manager. Anyway, the manager for Benavidez is blinder than me, and he's a fucking idiot.
All right, there you go. Pops never wanted to mince his words, but shout out to my man. Sure. He says Kell Brook will win this fight easily, and I hope so, man. I'm team Kell Brook for this fight, but I gotta be honest, you know. I think you know there's a lot he wants to prove, and there's a lot of nervous and anger he's got. So hopefully he can harness that in the right way, and it bodes well for him. But you know what? Let's talk about the news. Let's stay on top of the task at hand. So today, you know, and I want to give a big shout out to Nestor Gibbs and the fine folks over at the Boxing Voice. They've been putting in work for a lot of years before I was even on YouTube. So much respect to them as one of the OGs of covering boxing here on YouTube. But they did an interview today with Sampson Boxing, the you know, Sampson Boxing, the manager of David Benavidez. They went ahead, all right? He went ahead and he said, you know, that he would need not one. I'm gonna use LeBron. Remember LeBron when LeBron was in the Heat? Not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not six. But this motherfucker want 7 million. Just to start talking. We can't even say that wouldn't even suffice. He wanted 7 million just to start talking about Demetrius Andrade. So look, it's ridiculous because, you know, I don't want to disrespect David Benavidez because his energy has been, I want to fight Andrade. I want to fight the best guys out there. But then again, we see Sampson Boxing saying something different. So is it posturing by Benavidez, the fighter? Are him and Sampson actually on the same page, but it's just Benavidez posturing? Or is it a case of the manager not being in sync with the fighter? Which one do you think it is, Pops?
I think it's more the manager not being in sync with the fighter. The fighter, I call out other fighters. I always the other fights that he wanted to work out. So what's the next best thing for him? He said, I would love to fight Andre. So I think he's in. I just think the manager is not in sync with Benavidez, and hope to God that that's what it is.
So look, if you guys don't know what I'm speaking about, and I'm not gonna see your comments because I already see some foolish comments rolling in. Because listen, some of y'all just don't. Some of y'all will protect your favorite fighters from Demetrius Andrade till kingdom comes. So we'll get to you guys on Friday, guys. I got time today.
Yeah.
But if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you don't know like what is BT talking about, what is he going on about? He's just pulling things out of thin air. This is the clip I'm talking about. So roll the clip. Roll the clip.
It can be either way, but the money you need to be superior, much more than to fight Canelo.
It has to be more than fighting Canelo.
That's correct.
Okay, so there was a rumored offer from Eddie Hearn to Jamal Charlo to face Andrade once upon a time for an unified fight at $7 million. Does that sound right to you?
You need to be much more than that.
More than $7 million to fight Andrade?
Yes, because it's not an easy fight. He's a great fighter. That whoever he wants to put that fight, that most likely.
So there you have it. There you have it. You don't gotta take my word for it. That's straight from the horse's mouth. And listen, man, look, you guys always ask me, because some of y'all, I mean, I'm not gonna blame people that watch the channel or watch my videos, because I understand not everybody's as in tune with the boxing news as me. But like when I would come on here, right, and I would say things before any of this happened. When I sit here and say things like, well, David Benavidez, they didn't want to fight Caleb Plant. You guys would say, oh, well, he didn't. Hold on, you know what? We got receipts for your ass today. We got receipts because I said like this dude, West Coast Barber. He's always here. Love him. Dick riding. Yeah. Love it. I'm calling a spade a spade. Yeah. He's always here talking about Benavidez this, Benavidez that. I'm calling you out. You always over here defending David Benavidez. You know, and it's getting sick. I mean, I swear to God, I hope you guys defend your family, your children, and your wives the way you defend Benavidez and Canelo and some of these fighters. But anyway, I got receipts for your ass today. Now, this isn't a new thing. Like, this isn't the first time that Sampson Boxing and Benavidez haven't been on the same page. I mean, let's go back. Let's take you guys way back to 2020. Now, this is before Canelo Alverez was even a super middleweight champion. This is 11 months before Canelo Alvarez won his first super middleweight title against Callum Smith. All right, so you guys see the dates. I got receipts for you today. January 5th, 2020, USA Today. The title article: David Benavidez versus Caleb Plant. Unification 2020. In 2020, forget about it. Now, in this article, the same person that's telling you they need a stimulus check from Demetrius Andrade to fight. All right, this is the same person in Sampson Lukowitz. In case you guys don't know how to read, all right, Benavidez handler Sampson Lukowitz shut down the possibility in a recent interview. A 2020 unification? I don't believe so. Lukowitz told Boxing Junkie, I believe we need more time. So, you know, you got to remember, when he said this, there was no Canelo in the 168 division. This was actually, at that time, the fight to make in the super middleweight division. And he didn't really show any urgency to make the fight. But then around that same time and in the months progressing from this article where he made these statements, he also said, this is when you have Benavidez in an interview say, Caleb Plant's for the fucking pussy, I'll put him in the hospital. They were on this, either they're not on the same page or this is all deliberate. I mean, I don't know which one it is, but they didn't want the Caleb Plant fight. Now you can see here and say, like, I know what the Benavidez fans are gonna say. They're gonna say, "Oh, Caleb Plant can't punch. The fight will go this way. The fight will go that way." None of that matters. It doesn't matter because he's literally telling you, "I believe we need more time." Now he said this shit in 2020. All right, it's been 2 years. Mm-hmm. Is 2 years enough time? What do you think, Pops?
It's more than enough time. And I would just say it like this. This is the problem with boxing. When a boxer wants to fight another fight and he actually calls him out and wants to make the fight, and then you got a manager that for some odd reason or greed wants more money than the fight's really actually worth, to be honest with you. I'm on this one. I'm more on Benavidez' side with the Andre thing because he came out. I think he's been very sincere what he's saying, but I think when you communicate with your manager, you're not on the same page. It makes either the boxer or the manager look like a jackass, and in this case, it's whatever his name is.
Now, all this is really confusing to me. I'll be honest with you. Something is going on. Something's going on behind the scenes. Like I still feel like there's going to be more details to come. I want to point something out to you guys that might be getting lost in translation. So, not too long, like this podcast that he did with this interview that he did with the Boxing Voice was this afternoon, and like literally, like maybe within an hour or
43 minutes afterwards. Exactly.
Yeah, huh?
43 minutes afterwards.
What? This?
Yeah, he came up.
Yeah, this is like an hour. Yeah, 43 minutes after that happened. Benavidez puts out this video, but what I want to point out is, before I play the audio, the video didn't come out on PBC. The video came out on Matchroom. That's weird. Why would a PBC fighter be calling out a Matchroom fighter on the Matchroom platform? I've never seen Benavidez make a video with one of these fancy little cameras with a little Matchroom logo on the bottom. I've never seen that.
Crazy.
So it's weird. It's weird. But if you guys haven't seen this clip, this came out this afternoon. All right. Eddie Hearn posted it from his own personal Twitter account. This is what Benavidez had to say, and he was talking about basically fighting Andrade. So here he goes. Hold the clip. More to the beginning.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's David Benavidez. I have my upcoming fight with David Lemieux. I feel like first things first, I gotta take care of my business. So I feel like I get past David Lemieux. But the next best fight, for me, I feel like it's Brook Andrade. So I see Andrade's coming up to 168. So let's make it happen, Eddie. Yo, what's up, guys?
Yeah, so there you have it. He wants to fight.
David Lemieux.
He wants to fight Andrade. Benavidez has been consistent saying that, but something's got to give. Either he's got to confess and say he has to check his manager, or he got to come out and admit that it's all smoke and mirrors. Because you can't.
Well, when he said what I caught towards the end, he said, "Let's make that happen, Eddie." So to me, I think it's for his manager. I think he's overbidding for the fight, whatever it's called, overbidding for the fight, and he's not going to go on with it. He's not. He's going to say the same thing. Everybody says, "I'm going to pay you more," just like the boxing boys say. Shout out to them, follow. Like they said, you want to get him to get paid more than Canelo? What fell off your head and hit you in your head?
Look, I like Andrade, but they're not going to pay. They're not going to pay Benavidez $7 million, and they're going to have to pay Andrade a couple million himself. That's just not going to happen.
Nope.
And look, because it's funny. You guys really will do anything to hate on Demetrius Andrade. You guys will say, "Oh, well, he doesn't do this. He doesn't have a fan base. He doesn't have this. He doesn't have that." Well, no disrespect to Benavidez. He's a young rising star in boxing, but somebody refresh. When the fuck did he become a pay-per-view star? When did Benavidez is not no great star. Andrade's not a great star. Charlo's not a great star. All these guys need each other.
And let's be real. At one time, he was a champion. He's not a champion now. So how can you go into this fight as a manager for Benavidez and calling the shots on how much money you want? When Benavidez, whether they did it, whatever they took it out, whether it was in the ring or outside the street, whatever, for discipline, he lost his belts. He's still an ex-champion. So how can you be the A-side calling the shots? What do you think on that, BT?
I don't know. I really think this is a fight where you got Benavidez, who needs a signature fight. Andrade really needs a signature fight. So make this shit happen. Make it happen. West Coast Barber says just because his manager is demanding $7 million doesn't mean David doesn't want to fight him. Well, last I heard, last I checked, the manager is the extension of the fighter. So the fighter and the manager have to be on the same page. And if they're not, whether you like it or not, I know you don't want to accept the fact. See, this is the problem, Pops. A lot of people who don't like Demetrius Andrade don't want to potentially accept the fact that maybe their favorite fighters and the people that represent them, maybe not the fighter themselves, but the people that represent them aren't interested in the fight. And it has nothing to do with money because Andrade is a champion, all right? So if you're going to discredit Andrade and say he's not this and he's not that, what you also have to say, make sure you say this too, make sure you say that being a world champion in boxing means fuck all. Because that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
If you're giving anybody in boxing, whether it be Benavidez, Canelo, punk-ass Charlo, whoever, if you're giving anybody the pass to not fight Andrade, then what you're also saying, whether you want to admit it or not, is that being a world champion doesn't mean anything in boxing. It's meaningless. Why even be a champion?
But what he's trying to say is that what we said earlier, the fighter wants to fight.
Yeah, I think Benavidez wants to fight.
That's what he's saying. I think
but
the fighter wants to fight to make the fight, but it's the politics with the fucking managers, the promoters, the same thing we talk about that come through. But that being said, I think it was a recent interview we do that. Keith Thurman says he's always on top of his thing, with his promoters, with his managers, with everything. Guess what? You all better take a line from me if you haven't, Benavidez, because if you're not in line with the manager, you guys looking like fools right now.
Straight fools.
Because you're not the A side, Benavidez. You're not a champion right now.
I don't even care who's the A side. Look, Andrade is not a champion at 68. Benavidez is no longer a champion at 68. They're both notable names that people in boxing have talked about fighting Canelo Alverez. They both need a signature fight. They need each other. So make the fight happen. Meet someone in the middle. Make the fight happen. I want to get some comments, Pops. I'm gonna cut you off. Shout out to Jesus Sam. Good to see you, champ. Hope you're well. What's going on? True School Sports and Pop. Shout out to you, Von Dutch. Jarvis Smith says, if I was David, I would check Sampson. And I would say, what's up? Yeah, I would say the same thing. I would check him too because, like, you literally had me. Like, I saw the interview that Benavidez did with Sean Tatel. Shout out to Sean Tatel, one of the best reporters in boxing. He interviewed Benavidez. And he's the man. Listen, I love Sean. Maybe he's watching right now. But look, my man Sean Tatel, me and him before any of this happened, when Andrew was at 60, I remember me and him would be in Vegas. And I'd be telling him, man, stop gassing up Benavidez. He don't want to fight nobody. I said, let Andre come up there. I bet you won't fight him. I actually told Sean that. And here we are. Lo and behold, here we are.
I don't think it's him.
It's not him, though. It's his manager. But at the same time, a manager is an extension to him. So they got to, in these next couple weeks or days or so, they need to get on the same page.
Well, you best better believe that Eddie Hearn's going to come up with some kind of crazy stuff.
I agree with Sampson. There's more to gain with the Canelo matchup. Listen, there's more to gain with every fighter in boxing fighting Canelo because Canelo Alverez is selling crazy amounts of tickets. He's got the fan base. We get it. But the reality is this. And Canelo, look, I'm gonna do what the Canelo fans tell me when it comes to Andre, right? Because when I campaign for Andre to fight Canelo, you guys say, well, he hasn't done this. He should go to 168 and fight Benavidez, right? That's the funny thing. You guys say he should go to 168 and fight Benavidez. Here we are. He's at 168 trying to fight Benavidez, and it's still an issue. It's always an issue. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
I just think
Game Boy says Andre has no fan base, which you're wrong. Andre has a huge fan base. Every time one of you guys come on here and say that you don't care about Andre or that he has no fan base, you're a fan because you're giving him attention. It's like me, right? I can sit here and say I don't like Canelo, but I make fucking millions of videos about Canelo. So whether I like it or not, in some way, shape, or form, I'm a fan of Canelo. But I'm a fan of Andre. I'm a fan of Benavidez. I'm a fan of boxing. So if you guys don't care about fighters, you're not going to talk about them. So, like, the guys the people you guys don't care about will be guys like, Felix Cash, Tyler Howard, Danny Dignam. You guys might say, who the fuck are these guys you're mentioning? Yeah. The guys that are ranked at 160 in the WBO. You guys don't care about those guys. So, but Andre, you all care about Andre because he's linked to facing all your favorite fighters.
Don't throw sticks or hate on Andre. Because in this case, it's not Andre talking the shit. It's Benavidez' manager.
But somehow, right? The funny thing is, right? Somehow it's getting on being Andre's fault.
Yeah.
Somehow he hasn't said a word. He's trying to fight. He's trying to fight Zach Parker.
He just called GG in his home country.
He's trying to fight Zach Parker. Get the interim belt, position himself, just go about his business, and it's still his fault. So it is what it is. He said way more than $7 million. Yeah, man. I guess Andre ain't the one that wants to pay this. It's Benavidez. You guys made fun of Andre for wanting to pay against Canelo, but it's really Benavidez. David needs to hurry up and either get Sampson in check or leave him. He's already screwed up a Caleb Plant fight for him, and now he's possibly messing up an Andre fight. That's crazy, right? Thank you for saying it. I'm glad somebody else besides me is saying it because I was saying it for a while. Because people, when it came, especially when the Plant Canelo fight week was coming up. And when it was going on, everyone kept saying Benavidez is boogeyman. I'm like, boogeyman? Yeah. This the same, not him, but like this the same guy who's manager of one of the Caleb Plant fight. That's why Caleb Plant's fighting Canelo because he was undisciplined in the ring, with his training.
That's crazy.
And his manager didn't want to make the fight happen when it was time to make the fight happen, and he lost out. And shout out to my guy Diego, one of the only Canelo fans that I like and I tolerate. He says, man, fuck Benavidez. He's a protected fat ass. He let him have it.
I think like I said, I don't know how long he's contracted with his name, the Jewish guy.
Benavidez, Sampson.
Whatever, Sampson. But he needs to get away from him because if he lost a big mega fight with Plant and now he's chasing another fight so he can possibly get the Canelo fight and he doesn't want to get and he's telling him he wants overbid for the fight or overprice the fight and he's overpricing himself, then the guy's just an issue.
You're always going against the Mexicans. Benavidez is from Arizona, he's an American, but
nobody's going against the Mexicans.
We're not going against the Mexicans. We're going against what's wrong.
If you listen to the live from the beginning, we're not mad at Benavidez because we know he sincerely called him out. The problem we have was with his managers. So please open your ears.
Yeah, I actually think Benavidez wants to fight.
Yeah, he called it out.
He's been very consistent with that. So all I can do is take the man at his word. He's the same guy that said he wanted to fight Plant, and the one constant has been his manager. So I can't knock Benavidez. Look, I know a lot of fighters personally that are locked up in bad deals with managers and promoters, and it's not as simple as some people might say. Well, if he wants to fight Andre, just get out of his contract.
How many times my son tells me
just be a free agent
10 times a day or 1,000 times a week. That Pops. That's not how it works. It's very complicated.
It's not. Sometimes
you can't just walk off like a job. You can just walk off.
Sometimes these fighters will sign with a manager for X amount of years, and then like they have stipulations in the contract where if the fighter becomes a ranked fighter or wins a certain amount of fights, then the contract automatically gets extended.
Yeah.
So it's not that simple. So he could want to fight Andrade and a lot of other guys besides Andrade, and he's not getting the chances to. But it's unfortunate because and
I'll tell you
Benavidez versus Andrade is an awesome fight that needs to happen.
And the reality of it, Benavidez takes his fight for less than $7 million, right, Brennan? He'll still get the opportunity if he beats Andrade to go face Canelo or whoever he wants to face. But you can't have a blind manager, 2 wrongs will make a right, that cost you a fight with Plant in 2020, and now it's possibly going to cost you a fight with Andrade. Come on, man.
Steven Rodriguez, what's good, champ? Shout out to one of the local amateur coaches here in South Florida.
What's up, Steve?
My guy, Steve, plumbing in the daytime, boxing at night.
Do it all.
It's the work after the work. Hope everything's good with you, champ. Brendan, I watched a lot of Benavidez interviews. Pop is right. He's not on the same page with David. I hear David say, I'll KO this guy, that guy, but not Andrade. Yeah. You're saying he's saying he doesn't want to knock out Andrade or he can't knock out Andrade?
What he's saying is he agrees with what I said from the get-go. I'm just like,
I gotta cut you out, Pops. I gotta get to this comment right here. This is funny right here. And by the way, shout out to all 44 of you here.
Hit that like, man.
Make sure you smash that like button. Definitely take the time to subscribe and on Super Chat, all the good stuff. Daddy Trinidad says, "What's up, Pops? I believe Sampson wants that $7 million to launder some money for some coke, and that's definitely Hyro." But he said, "Yeah."
Hyro, I love you. Thank you for coming.
It is what it is. Let me see. RR1000. Who's Andrade? 2008 U.S. Olympian. World Amateur. 2007 World Amateur Champion. 2-division World Champion. 32-0. One of the best fighters around his weight. You can say he's boring. You can say he's fought nobody. But every time he's went out there, he's went in there and got the job done. That's all you can do as a fighter. Andrade should just fight Johnny Beck. Robert Garcia wants to train Johnny Beck for that fight. I'm to the point now where it's like, you know what? I don't think he could even fight Johnny Beck if he wanted to because he's already made the decision that he's going to 68 to fight Parker. So he has to go fight Parker. But hey, shit, if he can get past Parker and then Johnny Beck is available, then I'm not, make it happen. I've never been against a Johnny Beck fight, but fuck, man.
I just don't understand what's the reasoning behind Benavidez' manager to ask for $7 million. What does he have to?
You got to aim high in negotiations, right? Like they might really want 3 or 4, but they're gonna say 7+. You never know. It's all just posture.
Eddie Hearn's gonna come back and come with a big comment. You watch. He's gonna say something.
Yeah, we'll see. Game Boy Inc. says Benavidez fought Anthony Durrell, but yet he is scared of Plant. Man, that's not even worth the energy. You just need to know. You need to learn more about boxing if you think Anthony Durrell is better than Caleb Plant. Andre said that anyone who fights him will get a lot of money. I feel both should get $5 million. It's fair. I agree with that. Benavidez is bringing a lot to the table as far as being a former champion, being an exciting young fighter, being a young American fighter of Mexican descent. Make it happen. And I think the styles will mesh very well. I feel like Benavidez has that style where he's gonna make Andre have to get in there and fight. He can't fight the way he fought against other guys. And some people say he's boring, but like Andre always starts off fast. But would he try to start off fast against Benavidez? To me, it's a very interesting fight. Yeah, especially when you consider where both these guys are at in their careers. So it is what it is, man. But it makes me laugh how some of y'all hate Andre that much that even when he hasn't even said anything, and it's actually the people on Benavidez' team that are clearly in the wrong, it's still somehow his fault. Make that make sense. Milky Way says Andrade is ducking his number 1 mandatory Jaime Munguia. You must have been under a rock, Milky Way. God bless you, champ. You must have been under a rock the last 2 years. You can't even get Roberto Diaz to say Andrade's name in interviews because I tried. You can't get Eric Gomez to say his name. Golden Boy don't want no parts of Andrade. None.
He's been waiting for
none. I've asked the only person I haven't asked about fucking Andrade yet is Oscar himself. And the only reason that didn't happen was because when I went to the Zotto fight, he didn't even show up to the fucking press conference, and he wasn't there for none of the fight week stuff. You know, he showed up at during the co-main event, watched the main event, and left. So I bet you will ask Oscar. He's the next one. Munguia has been his mandatory for 4 years and still no, he won't. He won't. But it is what it is. See, Munguia was never the mandatory. He was the number one contender. The WBO never made Munguia to fight Andrade. Well, at the same time, Munguia and Golden Boy never really forced the issue either. All right, they never forced the issue. You know, I've seen plenty of guys who've been number one, and then once they get to that spot, they want to go. You know what? Make me. They'll start shouting about it.
Who Munguia fighting now? What's his name?
Munguia's fighting fucking.
So you gonna tell me?
You know what's funny? He's getting but we gotta give him some credit. Munguia.
Okay.
He's fighting Demetrius. He just fought the wrong one. He's fighting Demetrius Ballard.
Hello.
He ain't fighting Demetrius Andrade.
Get the names right.
So Munguia's getting close. He's fighting Demetrius Ballard on Saturday. He should win. You know, we'll see.
Saying?
Oscar De La Hoya is ducking True School Sports. Yeah, Oscar's not ready. Oscar's not ready for that smoke.
Oh, we'll run into one day.
But don't worry, it's coming. Yeah. In fact, I'll give you a date. As long as Oscar show up to this fight, I'll give you guys a date. If Oscar, just so long as Angelo Leo doesn't fight, or none of my friends are fighting on the Charlo Castaño undercard, I'll give you guys a date. March 19th or somewhere around March 19th. That week of the Virgil Ortiz Michael McKinson fight. We should run into Oscar. We're gonna ask him the question. What's going on with Munguia? If Munguia, of course, you know, which he should beat Demetrius Ballard. How come Andrade has never fought another champion? Because none of the other champions have wanted to fight him. None of them.
Everybody.
None of them. And I know people are going to say, well, what about Charlo? The fight was never signed. Go do your research. There was a miscommunication over money and whatnot. Go look it up. I should have to
hash it out again.
Hash it out. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
Munguia is the most avoided man in boxing. He is not. Oh my God! Stop it, bro. Nobody is afraid of hiring Munguia. Nobody is afraid of hiring Munguia.
I don't know what you're eating, but whatever you are,
he's a good fighter.
He got a free ride from Hogan. Hogan should. Did he fight him?
Like Dennis Hogan already beat his ass.
Yeah.
Like,
so he would have got beat by then. And that was a while back.
But I'll give him this. Look. I like Munguia. I'm a fan of his. I just the Andre stuff sour taste in my mouth. He is improving. Like what's his name?
He's in the right?
With Eric Morales, he is improving. So I mean, I thought he showed some good wrinkles in the Rosado fight. He had a nice power jab, and I'm not hating on him. I like Munguia. I think Munguia is good, but Munguia got to step up. Like he's fighting Ballard, Demetrius Ballard. He fighting the wrong Demetrius. He's fighting.
He should fight the other one. That's crazy.
Wait shortly, and you'll see Benavidez and the media correcting this rumor. Well, I'll be following it closely. Listen, we ain't going nowhere. We here for a long time and a good time simultaneously. You're clowning Munguia's competition but celebrating Andrade. That's very, very odd. Munguia's had a chance to fight Andrade. I'm not comparing resumes because at the end of the day in boxing, you can only beat who's put in front of you. So far, Andrade's been beat everybody who's put in front of him. Munguia's beat whoever's been put in front of him. But as Munguia has been beating the people put in front of him to win, when he was in that position to really press forward, and not just him, but Golden Boy Promotions as a whole, they haven't really shown any urgency to make that fight happen. You know, so
there's a reason behind that.
It is what it is. That's true. Munguia was never the mandatory. He didn't want the fight. Simple as that. He didn't want it. Lar will beat Andrade in a perfect world. Lar is me and Demetrius is William Joppy, and that's Cairo again. Come on, man. Ain't no guy that had a draw with Carlos Molina and it was a draw with it Moderation had to get him a rematch. You know, I know you're gonna say Andrade got dropped by Moderation. Nah, he not beating Andrade. Let me see. Munguia got exposed against Takashi Inoue. That was another tough fight. That fight, like them two fights, the Hogan fight and the Takashi Inoue fight. The Hogan fight he lost, and the Inoue fight wasn't smooth sailing either. So it is what it is. Child of the King. Shout out to Charlie. He says, "Are you going to the fight?" Which one, Charlie? There's a lot. I'm going to a lot of fights. I'm going to a lot of them. Starting in March. Billy Joe Saunders would have been champion when they fought, but he's scared of it. Exactly. You guys always like to bring up the narrative that he never fought a champion, but when he won the WBO title, who was his original opponent? It was the guy that you guys say is this great win for Canelo, which is Saunders. You know, LOL. Mexican fans just watch high-level competition and get hype. No, it is what it is, man. Support who you want to support. I'm just saying, like, let's just be fair. Like, let's be fair to these fighters. Like these fighters, you know, like Andrade, even Munguia, Canelo, everybody. Let's be fair, man. Like, If a guy's a champion and he's positioned himself for the fight, make the fights happen. You know, make it happen. I can understand, okay, maybe there was one time where the fight couldn't happen, but if it's a recurring theme where it's like 2 years are going by and 2 years become 3 years, then 3 years become 7, then it's not at that point, it's not a coincidence. You know, it's not a coincidence.
That's a reality of the situation.
Eubanks beat Liam Williams worse than Andrade. I mean, he started off better than Andrade. He had the 3 knockdowns. I'll give you that. He beat him better, slightly better. You know, but he did fade in the latter part of the fight. I don't know if you caught that part. I don't know if you actually watched the fight or just watched the highlights. But if you would have watched the actual fight, towards the end of the fight, Liam Williams had about a 2-round window in the back half of that fight. If he would have just let his hands go just a little bit, if he would have just threw that right hand in the last 2 rounds, he had a chance to really hurt Eubank. He was over there. Yo, Liam Williams turned into a defensive counterpuncher in the back half of the fight because Eubank was spent. At least with Andrade, like Andrade was tired. All right, at least Andrade was tired, but Andrade, you know, Liam Williams wasn't in there slipping and moving and countering with the jab. It was bad. It was bad. But hey, Eubank, that's another fight. You know, if Andrade can't get these fights against Benavidez and he gets past Parker, I would like to see him back down to 60 and fight Eubank. You know, Eubank got a good one against Liam Williams. And same goes with Munguia. If Munguia gets past Ballard, he don't want to fight Andrade. He don't want to fight was it Johnny Beck or the Falcao winner? Then fight Eubank.
He was just Gigi's backyard calling him out at his home. This is Andre calling him out. So he's going after everybody. And nobody still says
Andrade deserves a big fight. That's a problem with boxing. I don't like I'm sorry, like nobody can reconcile to me how a guy who's 32 and a 2-division world champion can't get a fight against the big names. I don't personally, like, look, just putting it blunt, and forgive me for my profanity, but like I don't give a fuck about if the guy if you say he don't sell tickets, which is not even true because he sold out in his hometown. But if the guy, I don't give a fuck if the guy don't sell tickets. I don't give a fuck if you think he's boring, if he's never fought another good fighter. Then let him fight a good fighter, because then if he's not good, then the good fighter will beat him because he's bad. It's that simple. That simple. It's that damn simple. David is not scared of Andrade. Well, maybe David's not, but Sampson Lukowicz definitely is. I don't think David is scared of Andrade. I think Sampson Lukowicz is scared of Andrade, and he doesn't. And he's scared about going through that risk. What do you think about people saying Canelo tried to fight Andrade, but they said the IBF blocked the fight? So you mean to tell me Canelo Alverez, the cash cow of the entire sport, who has pretty much all the politics of boxing in his favor, you want to tell me that this is the one time they blocked the fight? I'm not believing it. I'm not believing it. But listen, this isn't about Canelo, right? Like we're gonna let Canelo be. Like Canelo's got big things he's working on. You know, I've already spoken up about that subject. We're gonna focus on the younger fighters. And you know what? Let's acknowledge a super chat, because I do see I want to acknowledge super chat. So shout out to my man, the real American fan. All right. Before we get to his comment, you guys know when the super chats come out, so does when the super chats come out, so does Don King. So Don King, talk to him, give him a message of encouragement, Don.
Hey everybody, let's have some fun. You don't live but once, and when you're dead, you're done. So let the good times roll. It don't matter whether you're young or old. Let the good times roll.
All right, let the good times roll. Let the good times roll. We will here on True School Sports. So a real American fan says he being Andrade should fight 2 weight classes like Paul Williams. Remember, Paul had Canelo Alverez and Kelly Pavlik lined up all of a sudden. Paul had Canelo Alvarez and Kelly Pavlik lined up all at the same time. I know it sucks, but it would work. Bud Crawford as well. Well, he might have to do that. You might have to get a little extreme when desperate times call with desperate measures. So I think that's what he's trying to do. Like, because if you've been following the situation, which I believe you probably have, early in January, the WBO was not allowing. They weren't going to allow Andrade to fight Parker because they had a person with Johnny Beck, but Andrade and his team must have worked something out with the WBO, and now they're allowing him to fight Zach Parker while keeping the belt at 60. And then if he beats Zach Parker, they're going to give him a certain amount of time to decide if he stays at 160 to defend against Johnny Beck or explore a future at 168. So I think that's the route they're going. But I appreciate you, real American fan. Thank you for the support. West Coast Barber says everybody wants to see Canelo fight Benavidez, not Andrade. Well, listen,
But you gotta look at it from
Canelo. Listen. Canelo doesn't even want to see himself fight Benavidez. Like forget like fuck Andre forget Andre for a second. Like we're just gonna forget about Andre. Like forget about him. Canelo doesn't even want to see himself fight Benavidez. All right, you making it sound like Canelo Alverez didn't say that. Why would I fight another Mexican when I represent Mexico? I don't want to fight Mexicans.
Yeah, and you gotta be a little bit more open-minded and understand that. Look at it from Benavidez's point of view, not Canelo's. Not anybody. Benavidez is the one that wants to call out Andre, wants to fight Andre. So obviously, there's no other fights that Benavidez that could get right now. So why not fight Andre?
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with Canelo.
Yeah. Listen. I'm trying to leave Canelo alone. All right. You guys don't like it when I talk bad about Canelo. So let me leave. Like stop bringing him up. Because if we keep bringing him up, we're gonna have to go there. I'm trying not to go there. I'm trying to. He's gonna fight whoever the fuck he's trying to fight.
We don't know right now. I hope it's right of them.
All right. Rico says they're scared that Andrew will end up beating David, which is very capable of doing. So they want more money. That's exactly what's happening. You see, these managers and promoters, they always have their roadmaps. Like they're already thinking 3-4 fights ahead. So they can't think 3 or 4 fights ahead if you put Benavidez in there with Andre, because then it's not a foregone conclusion that he's gonna win. Julius says, "Do you see my super chat?" No, I've only seen one super chat. I only got one from Real American. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you for being here.
But I appreciate anybody who's here. If Canelo doesn't want Benavidez, do you really think? If Canelo doesn't want Benavidez, do you really think Andre does? Yeah, why not? Why not?
Do you know how long I've been waiting to get on Canelo? Canelo's been avoiding him.
No, but he's talking about.
Okay.
First of all, look. I hate to be disrespectful or sound like disrespectful, but I'm just gonna call a spade a spade. Benavidez is no killer. Like this is the same Benavidez that had a split decision with Ronald Gavril. All right, you guys are funny. You guys had the audacity to sit here and flap your gums and hate on Andre for fighting for vacant titles. Which, by the way, the second title wasn't supposed to be vacant. It became vacant because Billy Joe Saunders tested positive for whatever he tested positive for. But then when Benavidez won the vacant title, you guys are just hush about that. So keep it
100.
Keep it 100. Michael Ryan Pitt says, "Did you get my text message?" You see, I'm reading it right now. He says, "I know."
Yeah, I just think like
I don't know anything about that, Mike. I don't. Go ahead.
I just think a lot of times this is why boxing is so political. So that's why maybe it's better to be a free agent, to be honest with you, because you could go from one place after you do contract, whatever you gotta do. Be a free agent. Look what Canelo's doing. Canelo's be the free agent. Probably the best thing for him. Look at it when what's the name? Let's go, champ.
Shannon Briggs.
Yeah, when he started doing his own thing, he's like, forget it, he was crazy, whatever. But the point is, sometimes people say it's a bad thing to be a free agent because you don't have a promoter, you don't have a manager. But then you look at shit like this that's happening right now.
But being a free agent isn't as easy as you think it is. Like you can be a free agent, but the reality is, as far as the top of boxing, the main power players in boxing are Golden Boy, PBC, Top Rank, and Matchroom, right? They are, for the most part, control what goes on in the sport.
Right.
And if you're not with those guys and they don't want to fight you, then they're well within the rights not to want to fight you.
Yeah.
Because there's no rules in boxing. It's the Wild Wild West. Canelo Alvarez has a better resume than anyone you are talking about. You are only cheating yourself of enjoying a historically great champion while celebrating mediocre belt holders. Look, I'm trying not to bring him up. You trying to bring him up. I'm not gonna get into that comment. Canelo has things about. I think Canelo's an A-level fighter. I don't have nothing bad to say about him. He's an A-level fighter. He's a fantastic fighter. There's things about his career that I don't like, but we're not talking about him. We're focusing on the younger fighters.
And Benavidez and what Benavidez manager did today. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about
keep bringing up Canelo.
How great he is. He's accomplished a lot. We're not even talking about Canelo right now. We're talking about the Boo Boo Andre and Benavidez fight supposed to happen, and the manager stepped in and came up with some crazy outlandish price bidding that he has. So what are you talking about? You guys are throwing the shit at Canelo, not us, okay?
Yeah.
So when you get us angry and we talk about it, you want to step back. It's because you're ignorant.
I'm trying to tell you guys, I don't want to talk about him. And then when I tell you the truth about Canelo, then you guys are gonna say, "See, you don't like Canelo, and you need to be this way. You need to be this way."
We're talking about something totally different, and you guys are gonna come out fucking left field from the ballpark and talk about some shit that we didn't worry about.
Anyway, MAW, I think MAW just got here. So first, let me say shout out to my guy MAW out there in Australia. Hope you're doing good, champ. He says, "What up, fam? What did I miss?" Okay, well, for those of you who are just funneling in, first let me tell you, welcome to the home of boxing. Definitely take the time to subscribe, hit the like button, super chat, all that good stuff. So today, Sampson Lukowitz, who is the guy that runs Sampson Boxing, who helps run the career of David Benavidez. He did an interview today with the Boxing Voice, and when Sampson was doing the interview with the Boxing Voice, they asked about an Andrade fight because that's been a topic of discussion. Benavidez versus Andrade, and he said that they would need more than $7 million to fight Demetrius Andrade.
Somebody put something in his water, Brandon. I'm sorry. Somebody put something in his water.
So look, if you want to see the clip, here it is. I'll play it for you.
It can be either way, but the money it need to be superior, much more than to fight Canelo.
It has to be more than fighting Canelo.
That's correct.
Okay, so there was a rumored offer from Eddie Hearn to Jamal Charlo to face Andrade once upon a time for an unified fight at $7 million. Does that sound right to you?
You need to be much more than that.
More than $7 million to fight Andrade?
Yes, because it's not an easy fight. He's a great fighter. That whoever he wants to put that fight, that most likely.
So yeah. He then I didn't get the last part of the clip, but he said in the last part of the clip that it's not like a attractive fight or whatever. And then he hopped off the call. He hopped off the call immediately. Yeah. So it's getting ridiculous. Like, you guys, listen. I'm gonna tell you what I told somebody else today. When it comes to the subject of Demetrius Andrade in his career, the best thing that I have on my side is time, because time will reveal that the movers and shakers, the managers, the promoters, the people that dictate what goes on in the sport and the politics of it, they are not eager to put their. I'm not gonna say they're fighters because they don't look at these people like they're fighters.
Right.
They don't want to put their investments in there with Andrew, because that's what a fighter is to a manager. They're not a person. They're not a fighter. They're an investment. So they're just protecting their investment. But you can't protect the investment and then go to the media and build a reputation off of fear and all this stuff. So it's, at some point in time, you got to get in there ring with another real one and prove that you are what you say you are. And I'm saying the same thing for Andrade. Like, Andrade's beaten some solid contenders, but he hasn't had that one big defining fight yet. So I'm saying the same for him. But you can't get mad at him if one of the guys that you guys were campaigning from the fight, because make no ifs, ands, or buts about it. A lot of the people who would, dismiss Andrade fighting, Canelo or whatever, they would always say, well, if he wanted to fight Canelo, he should go to 168 fight Benavidez. Now he's trying to do that and fight Benavidez, and you guys are now backpedaling and saying, well, no, he doesn't deserve it. So it is what it is. Shout out to my man, Troy, just tuning in. What did I miss? Huh? Yeah, we're good. Basically, Sampson Lukowitz, Benavidez's handler, he doesn't believe in Benavidez at all. He thinks Benavidez will get pieced up by Andrade. He might listen. He might, if these managers will start getting. I want people in boxing to start being more honest. Like, if you said, you know what, I don't think my fighter can beat that style, I would say, you know what,
okay,
I want to see the fight, but at least he's being honest and he can go on with his career.
But they're not going to do that. It's crazy how boxing's got so crazy political.
Like this dude, Game Boy. Listen, Game Boy Inc. That's his name, Game Boy Inc. Game Boy need to get back on his Game Boy because clearly he don't know about boxing. He said Andrade won't sell pay-per-view. That's why they need $7 million up front. You don't need $7 million up front. First of all, this fight,
okay,
like $7 million.
Hold on a minute. You're missing the point. Andre's not asking for $7 million. Benavidez's team is.
Like, do y'all not hear the insanity? Like, they want more money to fight Andrade than they want to fight Canelo.
Hello.
It makes no fucking sense. Like, let's just say, right? First of all, we don't know who. If they were to fight, we don't even know who the hell, which promoter is putting on the fight. We don't know if it would be DAZN,
right,
or Matchroom, or it will be PBC.
We don't know.
All right. Now look, let's just say it's PBC, right? In the event that it is PBC, right? PBC out here losing money. We saw Adrian Broner expose PBC recently. All right, and PBC's been putting on pay-per-view at pay-per-view. Why? Because they're losing money. You don't put on fights like Charles Martin versus Luis Ortiz on pay-per-view if you're making money.
The crazy part is that you caught it, Brandon. I didn't even catch it when Benavidez came out 45 minutes afterwards. Lopez came on and he had a Matchroom interview with Matchroom when he's a PBC fighter.
I'm like, man, it's just crazy. I'm speechless. Like I'm speechless. That's why I'm just dialoguing with you guys. I'm speechless.
Believe it or not, as time goes on, one thing that we never say about Andrade, and I'm just gonna put it in this way, he's not running for nobody. He wants to fight whoever he can fight, and nobody wants to fight him. So now, one of the prime fighters that wants to fight him, Benavidez, calls him out, sincerely wants to fight him, and then the manager wants to put darkness on that. Like, he's gonna make money either way. If Benavidez beats Andrade and moves on, he's gonna make more than $7 million if he gets a Canelo fight. So what is
the way you guys hate Andrade? The way some of you hate Andrade, if he beats Andrade, he'll be a hero to some of you guys. You guys might fuck around.
You might throw a party. You might throw a party and invite us to the party so we can watch.
Troy, shout out to Troy. He says, "Are you kidding me? The undefeated boogeyman champion Andrade is going down as the most ducked undefeated champion in."
Come on, man.
I mean, I don't know about the history of boxing, but definitely of modern boxing. Like, this shit is getting ridiculous. Like, it's becoming some like Charlie Burley, Black Murderers Row type shit.
Every weight class, we have to become a heavyweight to get a chance or something. I don't know. I mean, today he was in Kazakhstan in Gigi's backyard calling him out.
Yeah, it's getting out of control. Absolutely out of control. Unadulterated truth. Shout out to him. He's a longtime viewer of the channel. Much appreciated. He says, "What's up, bro? Me and Pops, I want to do five 90-second rounds with Pops on pay-per-view. Let's go.
Whenever you're ready."
So,
and I want to tune up with Garcia's father. I'm gonna have
Teo Senior.
Yeah, I want Teo Senior. I'll take Teofimo Senior.
Yeah.
I'll take all the crazy food because I'm just as crazy as they are. And then I'll take the real champion, which is you.
Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. BT Benavidez manager basically said that Boo Andrade's style was too tough for his fight. They all keep saying that. They all keep saying that. It's getting ridiculous, Michael. Andrade is the Marvin Hagler of this generation. Listen, he hasn't had the wins of or one undisputed like Hagler yet. It's getting to that point.
He's from New England too. From out there, from Rhode Island, Massachusetts, that way. 140
and under is what's saving boxing. Thank God. Thank God for the super flyweight division. Thank you for 140. Thank you for 130. Thank you for 122.
147 not saving it because Spencer and
135 ain't saving it.
Oh, no credit for them at all? Oh, wow. That's great. Yeah, but at the end of the day, you're right. The comment you made there, but at the end of the day, something's got to come up, man.
Yeah. So Mango Juice 007 says, salute the True School and Pops. In my opinion, Andrew should stay at 168 and force Canelo to vacate the belt, then unify versus Benavidez or get the IBF to become WBO super champion. I'm right there with you, man. Like I think 68 is the route to go because, as I've documented many times, 160 is literally one of the worst divisions in boxing. I mean, even if he were to fight Johnny Beck and beat him, right after Johnny Beck, what is there? Because none of the champions want to fight him. Yeah. So what's he going to do? Fight what? You want to see him fight Eubank? You want to see him fight Felix Cash? You want to see him fight what? Who?
It's crazy.
There's not many people there. Tyler Howard, Danny Dignam. Who do you want to see him fight?
Then the day, what we discussed between ourselves is he would put pressure on Canelo if he did move at 168 and do what he had to do with it for Andre. So yeah, either way, he's got to find a way. He's trying to bet. He's trying everything to try to get the fights.
No, it is what it is. Swift Sloan, shout out to him. He says, Benavidez hasn't even made $7 million combined in his career. That's a duck no matter how you slice it. Yeah. Andrade is being ducked in the division he hasn't even fought in yet.
Damn.
Listen, sometimes I be talking shit, but I kind of mean what I say. I didn't think that this would happen so quickly. Like, I joked around when I heard Andrade was moving up to 168. I went on Instagram and I said, now that Andrade's at 168, the super middleweight division is going on quarantine, lockdown. Ain't nobody gonna fight.
And sure enough,
here we are. And then now that he's gone from 160 about to become one of the most funnest divisions in boxing.
It's so crazy.
It is what it is. Tico says you can't hate on Andrade. It takes two to get in the ring. He wants to prove himself, but no one wants to give him that shot. I really wanted to see him in there against Canelo, and I did too. And I've campaigned for that fight so hard so much so to the point where I've literally asked Canelo himself.
Yeah.
So I would like that fight, but I've come to reality that look, I want to see it, but for the time being, maybe for the next year or so, I'm gonna move on from talking about it. But I think shit, I would like to see him fight Benavidez. I'd like to see him fight, the Plants of the world and the Benavidez and shit. At this point, if he can't get them guys, I'm to the point where I'll set up for a John Ryder.
Yeah. I was about to say that.
John Ryder. John Ryder.
I
know a lot of people thought that he lost to Jacob.
I think he won.
I thought he won. Either way, though.
How many times you watched it though?
I watched that fight 4 times.
Jeez,
I watched that fight 4 times. He beat Jacobs. Yeah. Jacobs was too complacent. But if that's the fight he's gonna get, then fight John Ryder. John Ryder's a solid 168 pounder. If not him, then maybe you got David Morrell. But then David Morrell's PBC. So can you get a David Morrell in the ring? Because it seems like anybody who's with the PBC umbrella, they're not going to want to fight. You remember what Charlo said, Jamel? He said we black card him.
Yeah.
Ain't no money for you in this boxing game.
That's crazy what he did. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, at the end of the day, all these fights got to happen sooner or later. I like to see. I always think I'm always thinking my own opinion. I think this fight's going to actually happen. I wish it's going to happen. Eddie Hearn's got to negotiate with that manager. I think this fight will actually happen with Benavidez and Andre. And I also think, and I have a good feeling that I feel after Friday won this weekend, I think he's going to be the next opponent for Canelo. And Canelo's never fought in the UK, so I could see Canelo going out there. So shout out to him. But did you say he had to wait or something, right?
Yeah, that might not happen because he's mandatory for the belt that Morrell has, not Canelo. So Morrell has to fight that dude. Adios.
Like, can somebody take step aside money?
I mean, they can make an exception, but at this point, John Ryder might be the only one with the cojones to fight Andre. You know what? I have. First of all, it makes sense because Ryder. The fight make a lot of sense because Ryder is coming off of a good win against Jacobs. Ryder is signed to Managerial Boxing, same promotional company, and look at his track record. Ryder has never been shy about getting in the ring with top, with names, whether it be Jacobs or Callum Smith or Billy Joe or the other top guys in his country. He's always shown that willingness.
And granted, this is the biggest sport for Jacobs, but yeah, he's done it.
Boo Boo has always been overhated. I've known him since I know him. I don't know why. It is what it is. Keep that same energy with Benavidez beats the shit out of Andre. He'd have to fight him. See, you guys say that he'd have to fight him. You can't you can't beat someone up you're not in the ring with.
You guys can't fucking. Well, you know what? You're making. Let me not even say that. At the end of the day, you make yourself look dumber than dumber. You know why? Because you keep saying keep that same energy. We want to see the fight happen.
I'm begging for the fight.
And it's not Andre's team putting a hold on him. Hello. Go see the clip that we just played twice. Maybe I have to tell you in French, in Chinese, in whatever way to understand his better team.
Tell him in Spanish. Maybe you'll understand.
Mira, que no entiende español.
You're not getting it in English, so tell him in Spanish.
No entiende el chino, japonés, yo te lo voy a decir otra vez. Mira, el equipo de Andre no da problema aquí en este aspecto, ¿viste? El que da problema es con el manager de Benavidez, que está pidiendo mucho chavo, y si no da mucho chavo, mucho dinero, entonces la pelea no puede ser. Entonces, él está más loco, está diciendo que le pagan más por esta pelea a Andre Benavidez que si fuera si fuera Canelo. ¿Qué tú piensas en eso? Dime la verdad.
There you have it. Because you're not getting it in English, so we had to tell you in Spanish. Shit, and if I knew some Creole or some French or some Japanese, I'd tell you in that language too.
You guys, you're saying that we're hating on Benavidez. That comment you made, you're like, oh, well, Benavidez, we're not throwing no salt on Benavidez. It's his manager, his team, not Andre. Andre hasn't even said a squeak about this fight. Come on, man.
Yeah. Martin Adrian says, shout out to him, he says, everyone is scared of that Phoenix power. Benavidez isn't even from Phoenix, he's from Seattle.
Listen, man, me and my son go on this. My son thinks that if Canelo and Benavidez win, he got Canelo. I like Benavidez' style. I like the way he comes forward. I think he's a young, hungry fighter. Nobody took his belts. He lost his own belts. I give him that.
Yeah, he beat himself.
So if he fights Canelo, and Pops got Benavidez, and my son probably got Canelo.
Oh, Canelo will beat the shit out of Benavidez.
I don't think
easy
so.
money. That's easy money.
He's a hungry dog. He's a young guy.
But that's
big,
a whole
strong,
different subject.
And I think he will take him to the waters. than the Canelo. I'm telling you.
No. Not especially now, because Benavidez isn't even really truthfully, look, even if Benavidez agreed to fight Andrade tomorrow, Benavidez isn't really a 68-pounder. He's struggling to make the weight.
Right, but I mean, okay, so you're basically saying he's at 175. That's what you're saying, right?
He should be at 75, but he don't believe in himself at 175. Titan Berg says if Charlo wasn't a pussy, we would have seen 2 undefeated American fighters going out. I agree.
Yeah, that would be great, man. And they both of them make good money.
But again, like that's a different issue than Benavidez. Benavidez, I think, wants to fight Andrade. He's not denying the fight. It's his manager. With Charlo got no shame. He says he's a horrible fighter. But then he says he's a pussy and he hates him. But then he fought.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But then you look at the last couple fights Charlo's had, and now you see him in jail. So I don't know where he's gonna go with his career.
West Coast Barber says your pops is a G. He knows his boxing. Absolutely, I agree with that.
I just do the best I can. I got passion there. I'm not gonna say I'm right all the time because I'm not. But thank you so much. Yeah.
I've heard Caleb Plant say he wants to fight Benavidez, but Benavidez managers should let the fight build. This happened a while ago too. Okay, all right. I'm gonna get to that in a second. LVM, but I'm gonna acknowledge the super chat from Hyro. Shout out to Hyro with the $1.99 super chat. He says, "I want the Terrence Carver smoke. Give it to me." So there you have it. So Hyro wants
to take you.
He wants the Terrence Carver smoke. No, you know what he's talking about? It's a clip that I have.
Oh, you do? Oh,
yeah, this one. Yeah, this one. So shout out to Terrence Carver.
Pussy ass. Bring your ass out. I'm looking for you. I'm looking for you, Al. Where you at?
Crazy.
There you have it. There you go. I gave it to you, Harry. I'm man of the people. Shout out to you.
So like we were talking about Andrade.
But I wanted to get back to LVM. And by the way, shout out to all 30 of you here. Make sure you smash that like button.
Thank you so much.
He says, I heard Caleb Plant say he wanted to fight Benavidez, but the manager said they should let the fight build. This happened a while ago too. Yeah, I got it right here. You mean when he said this? Talking about right here? Talking about January 25th, 2020. Sampson Lukowitz. He said, I believe we need more time. I remember it all too well.
It's 2 years now.
It's been 2 years now. You know, time goes by when you're having fun.
And what's happening now, Caleb Plant has turned the tables on Benavidez because when Caleb Plant was on the come up, he actually asked for the Benavidez fight in the what's his name? Lukowitz. He blocked the fight or some crap. I don't know what he's talking about. So now, Caleb Plant is telling me you're gonna have to take your turn and wait. Your manager did me this way. I'm gonna do you like this back.
Yeah. Titan Berg says, "Hey, Blair Cobb wants all the smoke. He's calling out Boots and Crawford." Yes. He actually called them out on my channel first before the Boxing Voice, but I know people are a lot of people are starting to see it now on the Boxing Voice.
Check it out on an interview that he gave.
But yeah, he's been calling out Boots and Crawford for like at least since what I interviewed him in December.
Yeah, that's
something like that.
Yeah.
When did Devin Haney fight? Joe, that was December. Yeah, he called when I interviewed Blair. He called out Terrence.
So check out
and Boots and he told Boots. He told Boots my interview. He said, "Look, you can box, but can you fucking fight?"
Yeah.
He did say that.
Check out the interviews way before all this news comes out now. But yeah, I like Flavor Blair. It's exciting for boxing.
Look,
I like what he brings, and he knows a lot about and his boots, and he knows what he's all about. You know, he's studied Philly boxing, so yeah. A big good fight.
Yeah, Blair's one of these guys. He's good for boxing because
the energy.
He's not the best fighter in the division or anything like that, but he's got a lot of power. He's vulnerable. He's been dropped in fights, but like when he fought the dude, Mexican dude, Villalobos, he fought the dude Villalobos, and Villalobos had dropped him on one of the Golden Boy shows. But listen, I don't know how good Blair is. I know he's vulnerable. I know he's chinny, and I know he can punch, and I know he's athletic. But I want to see Blair get a shot at Boots, you know. I know Boots' next opponent, they're saying, is going to be Castillo Clayton on the Sebastian Fundura, Eric Saluba undercard April 9th. If he can get past Clayton, which is no gimme fight, I would like to see him get a crack. Yeah. Why not? Make it happen. Make it happen. Sean Ramjer, shout out to him, longtime viewer of the channel. Much love, Sean. Yes. He says, Canelo versus Eubank Jr., who you got? I like that fight. So I think it'd be entertaining. But Eubank is getting better under Roy Jones, but he showed in the Liam Williams fight that, you know, his stamina, his gas tank ain't all the way there. And I think if there's anything that we learned from the Caleb Plant fight is that you can't have a suspect gas tank and be able to beat Canelo. So I would, for that reason, I think it'd be fun while it lasts. But I would go with Canelo. Canelo will break him down and probably outwork him. Maybe not stop him, but he'll definitely outwork him. Benavidez KOs Andrade, easy work. We're never gonna see it. We're never gonna see it. We're never gonna see it. If Andrade wants to fight, pay the fucking $7 million, and he beats Benavidez, he will get the Canelo payday. No, because his manager didn't say it was $7 million. He said they need more than $7 million. So they need $7 million just to start talking.
That's crazy.
So you're talking about they want upwards of $10 million pretty much to fight Andrade. And you may not listen. You may know, you may not know, but in boxing we call that pricing yourself out. Benavidez ain't no $7 million fighter.
And I'll be honest with you. When his manager, Benavidez manager, came out with that, the first thing in my mind was Benavidez doesn't want to fight. But I can't say that because I see how Benavidez is talking. I say it's just a manager. But normally I would say just they don't want to fight the fighter. It's another excuse, but not in this case.
No, not in this case. How do you think? And Mark's been asking this question for a while. I'm glad he asked the question. He says, "How do you think Benavidez and Andrade match up?" I think it's a great fight. I think Benavidez brings a great seek and destroy style to the table. He's got the very good blend and combination of being not a one-punch knockout artist, but being heavy-handed, being a heavy-handed volume puncher. And these things can be problematic for Andrade because we've seen in some fights with Andrade recently and in the past, that maybe his gas tank towards the back half of the fights isn't the best. So Benavidez would have a chance in that fight. The only problem I see for Benavidez is that, he likes to fight in the high guard a lot, and Andrade is a fighter that's very creative with the angles, and he's very good at adjusting and figuring fighters out. So I think, hand positioning and his defense is going to be the key to that fight for him being able to beat Andrade, and how he transitions from defense to offense is the key to that fight.
I think Andrade's movement would be he will be a hard target for Benavidez to hit. As his style comes forward, straight forward, and he does all that, which I really like. But Benavidez, Andre knows his movement. Alan's going to move a lot. It's not going to be easy.
But I'm with Rico on this one. Truthfully, it's 116, 112. Andrade. That's what I'm going with. Mm-hmm. I'm going with that. Maybe in one of those 4 rounds Benavidez wins, I could see him maybe buzzing Andrade and kind of like Liam Williams did. But I think Andrade will be smart enough to know how to withstand that. And who knows? Maybe. You never know, man. People always think, Andrade's just this little boxer, and then they get in there and they get put on their ass almost every fight. So who's to say that it would happen to Benavidez? Benavidez being at 68, he's been there for a long time. He's had a hard time making the weight. He's missed weight, which means he's sucking down to get to the weight. He's killing himself, and these things could play a role. Whether he fights Andrade or Lemieux or Canelo or Plant or David Morrell, whoever he fights, the longer he stays at 68, the bigger chance this has of being a issue for him because he's a big boy. Yeah. He really is a light heavyweight. Wow. And he actually was a light heavyweight for about a day when he missed weight against, I think it was Angulo or one of those fights he missed weight for. Right. And the WBC removed him from the super middleweight rankings and put him in the 175 ranking. He was actually number 1. He could have fought Beterbiev. He had a straight beeline to Beterbiev, and he said, "No, I'm not going to fight Beterbiev." Way back in the 168 rankings, they reinstated him in the rankings. That's a fact. Hyro says, "I want to see Golden Boy get their 2 black welterweights, Machidi Ellis versus Maurice Hooker. I'm glad Hooker didn't fight Ben. Well, Conor Ben, I want to. You're gonna be crying when Andrade loses. They gotta fight, man.
This guy keeps talking crap.
They gotta fight, and you know what? I'll tell you this: if Benavidez, well, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there.
God bless you.
I'm not going to talk about, who I'm talking about.
God bless you.
Who was Andrade's biggest names? Don't worry, I'll wait. Whoever they put in front of him. All 32 people. Willie Nelson was a good win. Willie Nelson beat Tony Harrison. He knocked out Tony Harrison, who became world champion. So Willie Nelson wasn't a bad win. Vons Martirosyan was a top contender. There's plenty of good guys he beat.
You can't justify his resume when nobody good wants to fight him.
How do you see Lemieux versus Benavidez going? That's an interesting fight because, it's been a while. It's been a long, long time since we've seen Lemieux in a really big fight.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
But we know he can. Listen, Lemieux doesn't know what a jab is. He don't know what that is. So he's not gonna go in there and box with Benavidez. But we know Benavidez really ain't gonna go in there and box with him either. No. So then that begs the question. If Benavidez gets touched by Lemieux, can he take the power of Lemieux? Benavidez has a good tight guard. I give him credit. Even though Benavidez even though Benavidez isn't like the most flashy
my personal opinion on
person defensively, he's not easy to hit.
Now, my personal opinion.
I think Benavidez will stop Lemieux.
Lemieux's old. I consider him just like Gigi, not washed up, but it's time to retire. So I would give the edge to Benavidez. He's a young, hungry lion coming forward. He's got power, and he will break him down.
He's definitely hungry. He's not a 68 pounder. He's fucking weight training himself.
Benavidez gonna win that fight. I'm telling you, he's gonna win that fight.
I'm not gonna lie to you though. I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if Lemieux hurts him.
Who hurts who?
Benavidez.
You out of your mind. No. This is a old ass Lemieux who's been around for just as long as Gigi.
He can punch. That motherfucker can punch. I don't care what you say.
He will not be Benavidez.
Listen, Lemieux can't box. Lemieux don't got no defense. He's an extremely limited fighter, but the one thing that motherfucker can do is punch. Did you see what he did to Curtis Stevens? Did you see what he did to Curtis Stevens?
You see how big Benavidez is? He ain't no joke.
He's big in his weight train.
He will go ahead and take him out.
He's a big
matter of fact,
weight train target.
I'm gonna say it right here. He will knock the fuck out of
He should. He should
knock him out.
He should.
I didn't want to say it that, but he's an old man ready to retire. Benavidez will take him out.
He should. Tico says, I'm a Benavidez fan, but $7 million is too much to ask. If he takes that fight and beats Andrew, he'll benefit in the long run. Same goes for Andrew. That's really, that's a fair point. That's fair.
That's what I was saying. If you go ahead and fight, bid the fight for both like $10 million, $5 million fight for each other, and the winner goes and fights Canelo, okay, you're gonna make more money off it because you beat a legitimate contender.
But nobody talks about this. I like that Valiant's bringing this up. Benavidez ducked Beterbiev to call out Chala at 160, and then he said, yeah, he's a fucking pussy. I put him in the hospital. Listen, he didn't want that Beterbiev smoke. We know what Beterbiev does, people. We know his body count. What is it, 17-0?
No, at that time
17 knockouts.
It wasn't just Beterbiev in that division. It was Bivol. Who else was there? Big time.
No, but Beterbiev held the WBC, was ranked number 1.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just saying, man, like he's big enough to be a 175 pounder. And he don't want to go up there.
He will. He just want to get his belts here first.
Hyro says he ducked Beterbiev. Says he's what you call weight bully. I see his big ass shorts with the big belt line, overrated as hell. They're scared of Andrade potentially moving up. They are. They really, really are. It's like, last night, right? I was watching I was going back and I was watching a lot of Floyd Mayweather interviews from when he was like young in his career.
Yeah, I seen him on HBO Boxing.
Before he became on Mayweather. And HBO used to always hit on Floyd when he was young. And Floyd, there was one interview, he said, Floyd Mayweather is the black sheet of boxing. It's always against all odds. And then look, eventually, he became Money Mayweather. He got in that driver's seat, and then he dictated what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
Before he got to that point, he was really up against it.
I was watching last night the fight with Trinidad and Winky Wright, and they had a young Floyd Mayweather on there, and he was talking and other stuff. So you already had it, yeah.
Beterbiev is a dangerous man. Canelo not even fighting him right away. Listen, Beterbiev. The one thing about Beterbiev, let me tell you guys something about Beterbiev. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. For a long time, I think I underrated Beterbiev. I knew he could fight. I knew he was a good knockout artist and things like that. But every time he fights, man, he goes out there and does his job in spectacular fashion. He beats you up and then he boxes you, then he boxes you and then he beats you up. Either way you want, he can give it to you. Because he fought his last fight. He fought Marcus Brown, who okay, you can have your opinions on Marcus Brown, but Marcus Brown was undefeated, and Marcus Brown was a U.S. Olympian, southpaw, not an easy guy to look good against. And he looked good against him, even though he got the head clash. He fought Vosnik. Vosnik was a top 175 pounder, Ukrainian Olympian, knocked out Adonis Stevenson. Long, rangy puncher, and he went in there. Not only did he beat not only did he beat up Vosnik, he prematurely retired that man. He hasn't fought since.
Do you think Beterbiev will beat Smith in the upcoming fight?
Yeah. They fought?
No, when they fight.
Joe Smith.
Yeah, Joe Smith.
I thought they Callum.
No, Joe Smith.
Oh, Joe?
Who you got in that fight?
I don't go either way.
Yeah?
I can go either way. But I'm a favorite Beterbiev. Beterbiev got the better boxing skills.
Yeah.
By the way, they're saying that fight's going to be in June at MSG. So, look, I haven't been to a fight in New York City in a long time. I think my breaker's out. We're breaking the drought.
Yeah.
Andrade is an ugly fight, and he will run. He never runs. And the fact that you even say that he runs tells me that you don't watch him. But God bless you. Let's be honest. Benavidez gets touched in his fights. I could see Lemieux possibly hurting him. I could. Absolutely. You can say what you want about Lemieux. Lemieux can't box for shit. He don't have no defense. He's a very limited fighter. But if you decide to exchange, listen, Benavidez wants to make a statement. If he decided to exchange, I'm telling you right now, anybody who will listen,
Lemieux's an old man.
Benavidez should beat Lemieux because Lemieux's head's going to be right there. He don't got no defense with him. But if Lemieux touched that man,
you still
with him being weight drained,
you think he's gonna knock the shit out of?
I'm not saying this. I'm picking Benavidez to win, but I'm just saying you never know with Lemieux. Lemieux got that power, but Benavidez should win. Jiho Park says Lemieux is a legend in my mind for what he did to Spike O'Sullivan. Yeah, you see what the fuck he did to Spike O'Sullivan?
Yeah.
You see, but the one you got to really see is what he did to Curtis Stevens. Put him on a stretcher.
Yeah, but that was back in the day. How many years?
That was like 2017.
When he was in his prime and stuff.
Bro, you hating on Benavidez? Stop the hate. How am I hating on Benavidez? Name me one thing I've said that. No. Name me one thing I've said about Benavidez that wasn't true. You can say I'm hating because
don't waste your time.
West Coast Barber. Name me one thing I've said about Benavidez that's not true.
Bennett.
He won a vacant belt against Gavril. Split decision. You know, he did miss the weight and lose his title on the scale. The WBC did put him in the 175 rankings, and then he didn't want to fight Beterbiev, so he asked to be reinstated at 168. It's the truth.
Move on, brother.
They can't handle the truth. Zurdo versus Benavidez be a good scrap, but yeah, they don't want to fight Zurdo.
Yeah.
They don't want to fight Zurdo. Zurdo.
That'd be a good fight, though.
I love that fight.
Oh my god!
I think they're sparring partners. They train at the same gym.
Are they good friends?
They train. I don't know if they're friends, but they train at the same gym. They both train at the Brick House.
The Brick House.
Like
yeah.
You know. Do you think Ryder versus Canelo happens in 2022? It can happen. Personally, look, I'll say this. You know, and I'm probably the only person that feels this way, but this is how I feel.
Yeah.
I think John Ryder is one of the most underrated fighters at 168. He continues to go out there against top competition, whether it be Smith, whether it be against Jacobs and these guys that you guys have to prop up. Mm-hmm. And he goes in there and he's always right there with them. And in my opinion, he beat both of them. Ryder deserves a chance. I think Ryder, with him being as physically strong as he is, he can't. He's not a big puncher, but he's got a good jab. He's a southpaw. He's hard to hit, and he's very physically strong. He pushes you back. So it would be interesting to see Canelo fight someone as short and as stocky as he is.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a good fight. And straight up, if Canelo, listen, I'll put it like this: if Canelo fights John Ryder next, I'll become a Canelo fan at this point. That's where I'm at, because I think it's a hell of a fight. Numbers don't lie. 100%. Bivol is not eager to fight him. He had HBO and did nothing. Wow. Yeah, Hyro was very serious about Bivol. He thinks Bivol is ducking Beterbiev.
That'd be a great fight, both of them.
Like Hyro, tell Pops about Bivol and how he became champion. Tell Pops about how Bivol became champion.
You told me.
Hyro will tell you.
He got elevated, right?
He got elevated.
Okay.
I mean, he legitimized it by beating good fighters, but let me see. My man says, I asked for a refund for Estrada and Cholatito. I paid to see a trilogy, history and pound for pound champion going at it with titles on the line. Hey, I understand why, but you still getting a good fight with Martinez. I'm gonna be there, so if you decide to go, we'll see.
You see that thing? Martinez said he put out Cholatito and he's gonna go back to his weight class, and he wants to fight Sonny Edwards next after he takes out Cholatito.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I saw that. Sonny Edwards? Yeah. What do you think of Johnny Beck versus Andrade? He's possibly getting Zach Park 68. I'm surprised he wants to leave 160 now when he could have intercepted Canelo before Plant activating the mandatory. When could he have intercepted Canelo versus Plant? Canelo was lining his fights up like quick before anybody else had a chance to make the fights happen. As far as Andrade and Johnny Beck, good fight. I think Johnny Beck is very strong. Got good agility. My problem with Johnny Beck, though, from going back and rewatching some of his fights, is I think his punch selection gets a bit predictable, and I just think with him, he would have a problem with the angles and the awkwardness of an Andrade, and the power would even surprise him. I think that fight would be competitive for about 6 rounds, and then 7th, 8th round. I think that's where the class begins to show. You know what I'm saying? Brandon Bell, shout out to Brandon Bell. He says Canelo hater back on the live. He got a better resume than all your favorite American boxers, including Floyd. There's no reason to even like go back and forth with you, because the fact that you think that Canelo has a better resume than Floyd tells me that you're very disconnected from reality. So God bless you. Comment as much as you want.
Yeah.
You know, thank you for being here, but we're not going back and forth because you're clearly disconnected. You're clearly disconnected from reality. Dundada says, I think John Ryder will make Canelo have to work more than usual, just like I thought Derevchenko. That's where I'm at. I think his physical strength, along with him being a southpaw. I'm not saying he'll beat Canelo, but I think it's a much, much better fight than people realize. But you don't really know about these fights until they actually happen. That's why you gotta make it happen.
I think from Canelo's side, he always wanted to go to the UK, but why not now with Ryder? I would love to see that.
Yeah. Benavidez sparred 100 rounds with Zurdo. Yeah, they're very familiar with each other.
Oh, okay.
Like him, Zurdo, Diego Pacheco, they're all like sparring each other.
Okay.
You know. And by the way, shout out to Diego Pacheco, friend of the program. You know, big fans of him. We'll be seeing him on the Chocolatito undercard. John Ryder is a perfect fight for Andrade on all sides. You know, it could be. You know, he's two southpaws. The only problem I would see for Andrade in that fight, if he can't hurt Ryder early, is Ryder's got. Listen, if John Ryder don't got anything else, that man has an amazing gas tank.
Yeah. And
I love Andrade, but we've seen in some fights, you know, like with Cole K and Liam Williams and other guys, we've seen it. Like his gas tank does, you know, it evaporates a little bit in the back half of the fight. So I really think, you know, that could be one of those fights where you might see Andrade put like 4 or 5 of the first 7 rounds or 6 of the first 8 rounds in the bank, and then you see Ryder come on in the back half and really make Andrade have to dig deep and late in the fight. But listen, I'm all for it. Like, those are 2 of my favorite fighters at 68. You know,
why not? I
would Brandon Bell says, I love your channel. I'm fucking with you, bro. I don't like Canelo's ass at all. Well, okay, well, I'm glad you said it, man, because I'm like, man, it's getting ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous hearing people say this. Because the thing is, no, when Canelo beat Plant, right? I want to camp out on this. When Canelo beat Plant, people were saying that Canelo is now better than Floyd because he did something that Floyd's never done, right? He became undisputed. Mm-hmm. So what that means is being undisputed makes you better than Floyd, and it would have also made you better than Canelo when Canelo wasn't undisputed. So what that means is Zab Judah was better than Canelo.
Wow.
Zab Judah.
Shout out to
Zab Judah is better than Floyd. Zab Judah was better than Canelo before Canelo became undisputed. You know? It is what it is. But what if Martinez beats Chocolatito? The trilogy is ruined. Truthfully, man, look, I personally think that there's a concerted effort from the powers that be in boxing to phase out the old guys at 115.
That's crazy.
I think with Bam beating Quadras, and now you got now they got Frank. The WBA just ordered Joshua Franco to fight Dio.
Yeah.
You know, listen, we might not get those fights, but my thing is this: the cream should rise to the top. Martinez, I think Martinez is strong enough and young enough to give Chocolatito some problems, but his punches are a bit too wide. If Chocolatito doesn't get old overnight, or if Chocolatito can, you know, not get punished early on, I think he's a way sharper puncher. His punches get from point A to point B, maybe not quicker, but they're just straighter. He throws straighter punches. Mm-hmm. So I think it'll be a great fight, and I'm really excited to go. Martinez is one of the top young fighters in boxing today in any weight class. So it's definitely a great fight to look forward to.
Yeah,
you know. John Ryder is good prep for Canelo. It is. You know, if you're Andrade and you're trying to fight a guy like Canelo, you know, there's not anybody in the 68 division that has the same. Obviously, he's not Canelo, but I'm saying he's got the same stature, frame, physically strong.
Yeah.
You know, be good. And it's not a gimme either. John Ryder. Yeah, listen. Let me tell you something. Y'all gonna keep talking shit about John Ryder. John Ryder's gonna fuck around and beat some of your favorite fighters if they overlook him. They better not overlook him, because you see what happened to Daniel Jacobs this weekend.
Yeah.
Joshua Franco, the professor, I like the young man. Good fighter, man. Franco's good. Mm-hmm. You know, does a lot of good things in the ring. Gets overlooked. You know, even I overlooked him at sometimes, but he's gonna get his chance, just like his brother, to show what he could do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? By the way, shout out to all 50 of you here. Make sure you smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, feel free to drop a comment. We'll get as many as possible. We're going to be live a lot this week, during the week, talking boxing. And then on Saturday, as we've been going on live for these fights for years, we're going live for Conor versus Brook in the afternoon, and then we're going live for Munguia versus Ballard that night. So don't make no plans. Brendan Bell says I had to argue with this fanboy at work after he beat Plant. A dude said Plant was better than Canelo at 23 when Floyd beat him. That shit. Wait, what? Please said Plant was better than Canelo at 23 and when Floyd beat him. No. No.
That's what he was telling you.
I like Plant. Like, don't get me wrong. I like Plant. I'm gonna raise my hand. I thought Plant was gonna do better. Plant. One thing I'll say about Plant, he wasn't as tough as I thought he was. Plant wasn't, and that pains me to say, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
Plant was not as tough as I thought he was. For him to go in there and be boxing Canelo and say, "I respect your skills" in the middle of an undisputed championship fight at the MGM Grand, that's not good.
Yeah.
So, I overestimated how tough he was. I bought into some of the tough talk, and when the lights came on, he was good. He had some success boxing him, but when shit got hot in the last championship rounds, he didn't have it. So, Canelo deserves all the credit for getting the win. If Chocolatito isn't washed, he should beat Ray Martinez. Yeah, that's what
I'm going for.
If Ryan Garcia beats Kambosos, I'm done. Well, you better get ready. You better get ready to be done.
I got Kambosos.
Listen,
I got Kambosos.
I try to tell you guys.
He's trying to tell me that he's going to change. If that happens, what do you tell me?
I told you guys a long time ago. I said, look, boxing is in need of a new young star. Boxing can't, ride on Anthony Joshua and Golovkin and Canelo and all these guys forever. They're gonna need to create a new star, and they're gonna do it by any means necessary. So if George Kambosos Jr. gotta be a sacrificial lamb to do that,
damn,
they're gonna do it. And I told you guys, look, this Tego fight is leading to Ryan Garcia because Tego's promoter and manager is the same as Kambosos' promoter and manager. So I think that's the fight we're gonna get this next year.
But you were saying if he gets all them belts, you can forget about it.
Kevin Effect says Plant took a dive. I have my opinions on that. I don't want to really talk about him here, but you know what I think. Yeah. But Canelo, he beat him, so you can't leave it at that. If Caleb Plant didn't tell Canelo, "I respect your skills" in round 9 in the middle of a fight, maybe I would be more vocal about that. But it almost makes me think that Canelo beating him was legit, and I'm gonna go with that because it is what it is. But hopefully Caleb Plant can learn from that and not tell another opponent in a big fight that you respect the skills, because that's not what you do.
Who does that?
Like, how do you go from saying fuck you, I'm gonna beat you and all this stuff, to saying I respect your skills? No. Corny.
In a ninth round. No.
Corny. Like, legit, I'm not gonna lie. I like Caleb Plant, but that made me like less of a fan.
Yeah, you lost.
That lowered him. That lowered my view of him. Because
I expect that.
I've been a Plant fan. I've been a Caleb Plant fan since I seen him fight since I seen Caleb Plant fight Carlos Galvan here in South Florida in 2016. And even before that, I seen fights of Caleb Plant. So I've been a fan for this for a long time. But when I saw the clip of him saying "I respect your skills," I'm like, man, you can respect his skills. Just don't tell an opponent that during the fight.
That's retarded. I didn't know he said that.
You didn't see that?
No.
Where you been at?
If I would have seen that, I would have been like,
where you been at? Okay, hold on. So Sense Pops has never ever seen the clip.
In the 9th round.
In the middle of the fight.
No, you out of your mind. You fighting a
Where you been at?
I did not know. No, I did not see that. I'm serious. I did not see that.
All right, so we got to show Pops. We got to show
Pops. You didn't even tell me this until now.
I've said it before.
Oh, I didn't listen to it.
Talking to each other. You never seen this shit?
No. Fuck.
I hope they don't have it. I hope it's not on the BT Sport. I need the clip.
You're probably not gonna find out.
Well, I'll show it to you later. But they're boxing. They're boxing and pretty much like Caleb Plant's like this is pretty good. This is pretty good for 21-0, right? And then oh, here we go. It's on Champ Side's channel, so you know what? Fuck it. Shout out. Even though I'm not Champ Side has some things I don't agree with. We're gonna use this channel just for the sake of showing my dad this clip. All right. Look at this one. I'm not gonna play this. But look, you never seen this before?
No, you never told me.
Where have you been at? It's been on Instagram.
No, I didn't see it,
bruh.
Oh, I didn't see it. Tell you.
Look. Okay. Look.
Hell no.
He told Canelo, "You're pretty good." Look.
Oh no!
Yeah,
what the fuck? What? You talking to your opponent? Well, you might as well not fall down then. Oh my God!
You never seen it? I don't know how this is news to you. Like I don't know how.
You know my memory how bad it is. I don't know things. I know that. Plant, I was a big fan of yours. Ain't no way I'm gonna fight with somebody.
I like Plant.
I'm about to beat somebody's ass, and he's not. I don't care who he is. I'm gonna tell you. Oh, you got a good job. Good job.
Come on.
Right here.
It's a valid question. How do you go from saying you calling this trainer a fat bitch and all this stuff?
That's just as bad as bomb.
Come on, man. Come on.
Call dancing Mexican and all this other shit. Oh man.
Seeing that. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, it was on Echo Blog. That was corny from Eggplant, but I think that comes down to quality, opposition, and experience. Yeah, unfortunately, I think that's what it was too.
Not in the middle of the fight. I'm sorry. I don't give a shit. After the fight, whatever. Okay, not while you're fighting.
Plant was just talking shit for hype. Must have decided to tell Canelo up front before going. No. This man changes favorite fighter after Canelo beats him. Canelo's never fought my favorite fighter. He's never fought Demetrius Andrade. Yeah. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you just
like having Canelo schlong launch down your throat.
Keep doing it, man. Yeah. Anyway, we're not talking about it. I'm just saying, like, if I'm fighting a little fight and I'm losing the fight and you're beating me, I'm gonna tell you, I'll be scared of your skills. Just give me another punch up, give me your best uppercut. Thank you. Get the fuck out. Who does that?
Yeah. Caleb got out the streamers and pom. Yeah, that's why. Like, look,
when did that happen? I mean, Brendan, we watched the fight together. I didn't even see that.
We didn't watch the fight together. I was in Vegas.
Oh, you were in Vegas.
I was in Vegas.
Damn.
But like that came out like cause you couldn't hear it during the fight. That came out like the day after. I saw an Instagram the day after. I couldn't believe what my eyes were seeing. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how it's news to you though.
Because I'm always on Instagram watching boxing and doing this. I just know it. Oh my God! I still like him. I did. My level went down.
I did say Plant beat Canelo. I was wrong.
Yeah,
I was wrong that Plant beat Canelo.
Yep, and I was too.
I overestimated how tough I thought he was. I thought he was tougher than he was.
When he said that,
I was clearly wrong.
You're in the middle of a fight and you tell him congratulate somebody else or give him props. Something wrong with you.
Said that in the damn fight. So it is what it is, man. But you know, Pops, I wanted to get your take on this, man. What do you think about Ryan Garcia switching trainers? Have you had a chance to read about that? Have you, any of the comments as to why he switched? Do you know why he switched?
He said that one of the things he switched because I guess Ronaldo didn't have enough time. He was busy with everything else. And he also said that he wanted his own gym. He wanted to
build his own brand.
He wanted to build his own brand, and he wants to go to the gym when he wants to go to the gym. That right there, when he told me that he wanted to come to the gym, do his own work in his own time, tells me that he wasn't disciplined enough to respect Ray Reynoso or Canelo when they call the times to go to the gym. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I get it if you have your own gym already and you want to go when you want to do, but for you to say that, it's just kind of just in my mind. In my own opinion, I feel
like they were trying to make it sound like a good thing, like because Ryan had said in the interview, right? Ryan had said in the interview that not in the interview, but in the article that I read, he said that he didn't want to be confined to a schedule of training. And I'm like, dude, you're a world-class prize fighter.
Yeah, you gotta have discipline. But if you're
Valiant made a good point though, because apparently they said Teofimo is the reason for the split because apparently Teofimo is going to train with Eddie Reynoso. And Ryan didn't want to be around for that, so that's why he really left.
Okay, that's a fair take on it. But I still say, but the way he explained it, that because he wanted his fair shake, and that you cleared it up right there. I'll just go with what he said.
Well, in any event, what do you think about Teofimo working with Eddie Reynoso?
Man, this guy, I don't know what.
You don't like that?
I mean, probably his confidence-wise, with Canelo being there and. Being well, Jam, doing all okay, that's fine. But honestly, I'm just gonna say cut and dry.
Talk to him, Pops.
Fuck Reynoso. Fucking hate him.
Why do you?
I just don't like him. I just the son up behind, just don't like him.
You don't know.
I don't need to know him. I just don't like him. I don't like Reynoso. Fuck him. I mean, but at the same time, if that's what he chooses to do, go ahead. More power to you.
So you don't think Eddie Reynoso is a good trainer? I don't think he's a good trainer.
I mean.
You gotta at least give Eddie Reynoso a little credit. He built Canelo from scratch.
I am. That's what I'm saying. I'm just gonna say that. I can't take Canelo from him. They've been together for a long time. But honestly, I'm gonna have a long talk with him when I have an interview with him.
Oh,
I'm not in Spanish and
All right,
English.
all right.
I just don't like. I don't know. Just the. I don't know.
All right, Teos. Yeah, thank you, Von Dutch. Thank you. Quick fuck right now. So Teofimo is on PEDs for sure now. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's gonna help him. I pray for him too. Whatever happens, because he's right now his state of mind is real bad.
You know.
So I'll pray for Teofimo. We're a big fan of him here. So congratulations. That's the
route we're gonna go.
Yeah, the route we want to go. Best of luck to you.
I think you know what it is too. Yeah, I'm gonna say this. I think Canelo.
Also, Garcia left too because he got a high ego too, and so does Teofimo. That's gonna be problems in the gym.
I think Canelo has taken. I think Canelo even before like he lost or any of this happened. I think Canelo has a soft spot for Teo, and I think I truthfully think Canelo with Teo being around Canelo, that'd be good for Teo.
Well, I think
to learn from it's gonna be funny hearing this from me, but a great fighter like Canelo, an A-level fighter like Canelo.
And going on with that part, I think Canelo will see the thing between Teofimo and Garcia is that Teofimo will be willing to listen to somebody like Canelo. That's something to get that Garcia didn't want to do.
Like, look, if you're a young fighter in the sport, it doesn't hurt to have a guy with the stature of a Canelo in the gym with you all the time.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna be. I mean, Teo works hard anyways, but just having that there makes you more hungrier, and it's gonna motivate him to try to go to 140 and do what he's got to do, and dominate and get those belts, whatever he's got to do. So having a champion like Canelo and Canelo calls out the way it is. That's the difference between him and Garcia being a diva. A diva gets his feeling hurt real quick. And to have Canelo call him out on certain things, he didn't like that.
Yeah.
Garcia wants everything his own way.
On his terms, and that's just how it goes. We're not going to name no names, but me and Pops know a handful of fighters here in South Florida like that, and that's why they're Florida. They're strictly domestic level South Florida fighters, and
that's how they stay.
They're not going to progress past that. Nope. Hyro says BWF will knock Joe Smith's bitch ass out. He's a manufactured champion they built up. Top Rank had a tournament for the WBO without Zotto, who was WBO champion at 168 that never lost. He got a gift.
Who, Joe Smith?
So, yeah, because Joe Smith Jr. when he fought Vlasov. That was a close fight.
Listen, man.
That was a close fight. That could have went either way.
I respect Joe Smith, and I like the story and everything. I'm not taking nothing away from Joe Smith. That man came from construction. He made it where he's at, and I'm not taking that. I'm not taking that. Damn,
Pop scared me. I gotta lower my volume. Yeah, that PTSD kicked in. That medication kicked in.
I have to take. You don't believe me? I take medications. When I get angry sometimes at night, I gotta take my medication.
Yeah,
this is right now, so I'm gonna have a long talk with him.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing what Joe Goosen is gonna do with Ryan. I mean, look,
they work together though.
Joe Goosen is a great trainer. To be fair though, he hasn't really done like anything like amazing in boxing as far as like being a trainer in years. I mean, he's most known for training one of my favorite fighters of all time, Michael Nunn. When he was at the peak of his powers, he trained Diego Corrales and guys like that. But recently he trained Andy Ruiz first fight with Chris Arreola. No, he trained Chris Arreola first fight with Andy Ruiz, and I thought that was the best Chris Arreola I ever seen.
Version in
years. So it's been a while. He did come out today, and Joe Goosen's giving Ryan Garcia that vote of confidence right away. He said Ryan Garcia is going to retire undefeated. He'll never lose with him in his corner. So we're going to see, man. I think Goosen, just from afar, going by his personality, he seems like a guy that is a no nonsense trainer. So if my perception of him is true, and that's what he is, and he's gonna hold Ryan Garcia accountable. Then that would be great because I think Ryan Garcia needs to toughen up.
And I think also, but the fact that they've worked together before and they know each other, it actually makes the scene more comfortable for Garcia with him and actually be able to train because he'll be if he got the center of attention he likes, he'll be the center of attention of that gym. He won't have to worry about the Teofimos, Canelo Alverez, the Ray Martinez, and so forth and so
Oscar Valdez
and so forth. So it'll just be him. But they had a relationship before, and they're coming back to it. So I wish nothing but the best.
Yeah. Reynoso is the type to tattoo Canelo on his own body. He's lame. Yeah. Rico Ramsey says I might have to like
a tattoo with Canelo.
Yeah. He has a tattoo of him and Canelo on himself.
Hell no.
I think he does. I could be wrong.
Anyway,
Rico Ramsey says I might start liking Ryan. LOL. I don't like nobody that comes out of the Reynoso camp. That's why I stopped liking Reese. That's why I'm so gassed for this Cholatito fight because my favorite fighter is fighting against somebody from the Canelo camp.
But
so
What I don't like about Ruiz, he's been about 2 years over there. How many long been there? He hasn't. Who's he fought, Brennan?
I was gassed about the partnership too.
In the beginning it was, but then he hasn't fought anybody.
He fought Chris Arreola and got dropped by him. Had a hard fight, Chris Arreola.
Yeah, so no.
You know what I'm saying? But Eddie trains his fighters all the same way. And I keep telling, I've been telling my dad, after I saw the Ruiz fight with Arreola, I told Pops, I said, look, he gonna get this dude fucked up. Fight. He trying to get Ruiz to fight like a Canelo. And you can't be fighting like Canelo heavyweight. It's not. No. It's a whole different sport up there.
Isn't that what Stacey tells you? It's a different breed of training people?
Huh? Training
heavyweights is a different breed than training any other fighters?
Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, Joe Goosen. Someone asked. I can't find the comment, but I saw someone ask earlier. Isn't Joe Goosen like a celebrity trainer now? Yeah, he's been doing that celebrity training because listen. I mean, I've got a friend. Shout out to my guy Kevin Gleason. I've got a guy here in South Florida named Kevin Gleason who's worked with all kinds of fighters locally, and he'd be the first one to tell me. He says, "Man, I'm trying to train these Instagram models. I'm trying to train these fitness people because there's more money in training the celebrities. There's more money in training.
Right?
You
boxing.
There ain't unless you're like a world championship guy that's making 6 figures, 7 figures. There's not as much money. Fucking, you train one of these Instagram models with 2 million followers who make six figures a year, and you getting, instead of getting $10 a session, you getting $150 a session.
Hello,
and that's a big difference. Just because he's training, celebrity fighters doesn't mean he forgot how to train real fighters. He still works for Vita Monecki here and there. He's still working with people.
Medina.
Yeah. So
I mean, shout out to him, man. He's having success, but God bless him.
That's because Andre doesn't generate so much for $7 million right now. Well, shit. Apparently he does. Apparently he do. Listen, from now on, whenever you guys say Andre don't bring no money to the table, I'm gonna say that's not true because according to Sampson Boxing, he brings $7 million to the table.
It can be either way, but the money it need to be superior, much more than to fight Canelo.
It has to be more than fighting Canelo.
That's correct.
Okay, so there was a rumored offer from Eddie Hearn to Jamal Charlo to face Andrade once upon a time for an unified fight at $7 million. Does that sound right to you?
You need to be much more than that.
More than $7 million to fight Andrade?
Yes, because it's not an easy fight. He's a great fighter. That whoever he wants to put that fight, that most likely.
He's a great fighter that apparently commands $7 million. So hey, I don't want to hear it. Demetrius Andrade. Aside from Canelo, Demetrius Andrade, the cash cow, 168. Sets me demanding $7 million.
The silence is the killer. Andre ain't saying nothing, but the other opponent's team is saying it.
Yeah, freaking the well enough alone says Teofimo Senior mouth attitude capacity, whatever if he gets too involved. I feel like. Well, I think with Reynoso's status in the sport, I think this will be one of the few times where he might take a back seat.
Canelo's there too, so
we'll see how it goes. If it's even gonna happen because it hasn't really been 100% confirmed. Yeah. I know Tio mentioned it, but until we see them in the gym, you just never know.
Yeah.
Goosen trained the Ruelas brothers. Yeah, and the Ruelas brothers were some tough fighters. I remember when Ruelas fought one of the Ruelas brothers fought De La Hoya. That was one of the fights of the year, I believe. I think it was like 1990.
But ever since then, he has.
Gotti or De La Hoya. One of them.
But he hasn't had no recent champions or nothing, right?
Nobody recent.
Yeah.
But
God bless him.
Canelo or Andrade, horrible fighter. Benavidez manager or Andrade, he's a great fighter. I'll go with the manager. And that's why he's asking for $7 million because he knows, what? When Benavidez gets beat up by Andrade and loses, and my whole plan goes up in smoke, I want to get compensated for it.
Yeah.
That manager is a pussy, scared of a smaller guy moving up. Yeah, it almost makes me wonder, I know I'm not a big Jamal Charlo fan, but it almost makes me wonder, if Jamal would have went up to 68 and if he would have fought Benavidez, would the fight, if he tried to, would it have happened? Because
you're talking about the manager.
I'm talking that because if the manager isn't gonna allow him to fight Andrade, who's a 60-pounder, why would he allow him to fight Jamal, who's a 60-pounder?
Yeah,
that's a valid question. I'm a Benavidez fan, but that's a bad look. It is a bad look. You can't reconcile that. You can't.
I wonder what Eddie Hearn's gonna say.
We'll see. We'll follow it. I hope Ryan gets his bitch ass knocked out. Joe Goosen is a celebrity coach. He wears jeans to the ring. That's right.
Yeah, we'll be on it, boy. Thank you, Harold.
No, but just because he wears jeans to the ring doesn't take away from the fact that he can still train fighters, bro. Stop being a hater. Stop being a hater. Goosen's a good trainer. Gabriel Fagati. Goosen is a solid trainer. He is. He trained Michael Nunn. He's more than a solid trainer. He trained Michael Nunn.
Nunn was a beast.
Michael Nunn was the truth. The PBC is scared of Andrade. Them and many others. All right. Boo needs to step up and fight elite fighters. Okay. Because I saw. Listen, and I'm gonna call a spade a spade. I saw your comment on one of my videos, Renzo Boynton, right? And it was corny. If he can't fight, is Benavidez an elite fighter? Yes or no? Is he an elite fighter? Because everybody says he's an elite fighter. So I'm gonna ask you: is he an elite fighter? Because he's trying to fight him. Is Charlo an elite fighter? Is Golovkin an elite fighter? Because he's trying to fight all these guys, and every time he tries to fight one of them, it's an issue. So are they elite fighters? You can't fight elite fighters if the elite fighters don't want to fight. Truthfully, look, most of these guys that you guys say will beat them or would be competitive, I don't think they're that great to begin with, but they're the biggest names in the division. So,
yeah,
come on, man, make it happen. Goosen rocks that denim jacket in the ring, man. I don't care what anybody says. He does his thing. Does his thing. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in boxing, man. Like, I'm just hoping we get some of these damn fights this year because it's getting ridiculous what's going on in the sport. Mini Max Boxing, freaking shout out to him. I was on Twitter earlier. Mini Max Boxing was flapping his gums talking about Andrade and Andrade has no chance against Canelo. And I told him it's the most foolish thing he's ever tweeted in his life. You know, I love Mini Max. He's pretty logical, but Mini Max, man, he's the same guy that thinks Golovkin is like one of the best fighters in the sport.
No,
Golovkin over there fighting Schmenta and all these guys.
You still find out from the Mariota fight. For sure.
BT, Alist, Pet Ducks, GGG, Charlo, Munguia, and Benavidez. I mean, it's growing. It's growing. As the years go, the list grows. They don't want to fight him.
Yeah, it's crazy, but true.
You know, it makes sense why he is training Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is a social media star more than he is a boxer. He is. He doesn't want to fight
because he's training stars and everything. They both can get along better with each other. That's crazy, but true.
Go in there and train them Australian, the Australian Instagram models. You know, because Ryan Garcia was in an interview recently talking about, the girls in Australia are serious. Remember when he said that?
Unreal.
But
he's focusing on the girl. He's worried about the girl.
Over here trying to make some great things happen. You worried about chasing ass.
Yeah.
Come on, champ.
Got enough kids already.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on right now. Like Terrence Crawford's actually in the UK right now. He's already arrived. Team Amir Khan has already arrived in the UK for the Kell Brook fight this weekend. Yeah. So, hey, Pop, I want to get your opinion on what do you think about what's his name? Amir Khan training with Terrence Crawford.
I think that's a good thing for Khan having an undisputed.
Because it sounds good. It should sound
good. Actually, what will give Khan. We know he's got a weak chin, but that toughness that Crawford has and trains with will mold it into Khan. He's going to need that against a fighter like Kell Brook that's coming to this fight that I feel is just a stronger fighter that I feel is going out there to do some damage to himself. But to having Crawford on your side is a plus.
No, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So in that case, yeah.
Oh yeah, we gotta add Saunders to that list. We can't forget about Saunders. Saunders is the guy that we don't talk about enough. Duck and Andrade. I mean, this guy actually had a fight signed. They did a press conference. That they had to fly Walter Kakadawa on like what was it, a day or 2 or 3 days notice?
Yeah.
So it is what it is, man.
Got released from jail.
But yeah, man. We'll see what happens with Khan and Brook. I'm really listen. People have been shitting on this fight for a long time about Khan and Brook and Brook and Khan, and people are saying, "Well, we don't care about Khan and Brook." But shit, if you've seen that, if you saw that gloves are off today on Sky Sports, shit, I'm gassed.
I'm gonna see that right.
I'm extremely gassed for that fight. Because a lot of times these rivalry fights in boxing, they're manufactured. They're propagated by the promoters and the powers that be in boxing. This ain't one of them. Like this ain't one of them at all. This is a fight where you got two fighters who genuinely have disdain for each other, and when those fights come around, you gotta appreciate them. You know, I think it'll be a good fight because like Amir Khan, you know, in both these guys' primes, they were amazing fighters. Amir Khan was as far as his punch selection, he was pretty much a 1-2 ABC 1-2-3 British fighter for most of his career, but his hand speed is absolutely incredible. So Amir Khan, like, he's probably like one of the greatest 4 to 6 round fighters in the sport. I mean, you saw even when he fought Canelo, in all the fights he's been knocked out in. In every fight he's been knocked out in, except from Crawford, Khan has been outboxing his opponent. You know, so I think you know, this could be a case of time beats speed. If Kell Brook doesn't get hurt by any of the sharp, fast punches of Amir Khan early, then I think in the rounds, you know, between rounds 5 and 7, Brook will have a chance to really hurt Khan and get him out of there. But I'll tell you this: with Amir Khan training with Crawford, you know, doing his first training camp in Colorado Springs, running the mountains. You know, I know what that can do for a fighter, and I really think.
Still got Pedraza or Ramirez when they fight March?
I didn't say I was picking Pedraza. I said he has a chance.
Oh, I got Ramirez in that fight.
But I'll tell you this: I'm switching my pick on the Khan fight and Brook fight. I'm switching.
You out of damn mind.
You got Brook still?
I'm saying with Brook.
I'm going with Amir Khan. I want to be.
Oh hell no!
I'm going with Amir Khan because I think Kell Brook.
Sheffield's coming.
I'm going for Khan to win the fight.
No,
I think he'll win the fight. I'm rooting for Kell.
He is not going to beat Brook. Brook waiting
because
years to put his hand on him.
I'm gonna tell you what the difference.
Khan's got a weak chin. Even though he got Crawford, like I said,
Crawford's the difference.
And Crawford's the difference. But guess what? These brownies right here are gonna be the difference. Not like. Are you serious?
I hope you're right. Yeah, I'm going. I think Cal. He's in Kell's mind. He's in Kell's head too much. Kell's too angry.
I'm taking Brook. All that butterflies and all that anger will settle down as the fight goes on.
I hope you're right.
Those brownies coming in there will knock the shit out of Khan.
I think Amir Khan in this fight's gonna throw a body shot. If Amir Khan throw a body shot, it's over. If we see the Amir Khan from the first 5 rounds of the Maidana fight show up, it's a wrap.
Yeah, you say
it's a wrap.
You say because it's mental. It's mental. It's getting
Listen, I know what these Colorado Springs training camps do for fighters. He went into Colorado Springs with Terrence Crawford.
I know that's crazy.
Kell Brook's over in Spain hitting pads.
Crazy. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm the closer the fight gets, I'm starting to. I don't want Khan to win. Yeah. I don't want Amir Khan to win.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to believe in him.
Yeah, I'm going.
Like I'm starting to believe in him.
With Brook. I've been waiting for this fight for years, and I want Brook to put him out.
Hyro says, "I'm going for Amir Khan." Brook is complaining about the weight when the fight is already signed. Kell needs to be a man and come out. Oh yeah, do you know what that?
No, Brook wasn't complaining in the beginning. It was Khan making all this kind of shit.
But do you know about? There's this rumor in boxing that Kell Brook is he's
gay.
He bats for the other team.
Nah.
So Amir Khan came out and said, "Be a man, come out."
Well, when you knock him out, all Amir do is getting in his head. But what I didn't like about Amir, after they signed the contract, he started talking about all this crap against Brook and all this other stuff.
Valiant says, BT, don't believe the hype. Remember, Amir Khan. Like, let's see how you spelled it. Yeah. You're right. He could be Khan on me. You might be right, man. But
I'm going with the Brook.
I don't know. You know what?
I'm taking Brook.
I don't have an official prediction yet. I'm just gonna be undecided. All right. I'm gonna be completely. I don't have one yet. I'll make my prediction.
Fight night.
I'll make my prediction Friday night or Saturday. But like I'm going. This has been one of those fights where I'm going back and forth because even though Khan has a glass chin, Brook has bad eyes, and you saw what Crawford did to him with a jab. You know, so I'm worried. I'm worried about the punch resistance. You know. Now the gambler says says Khan fitter, Brook abuses body much with drinking. Khan all the way. Oh, the gambler says Khan. I'm going with Khan then. In that case, I'm going with Khan.
I'm sticking with Brook.
I'm going with Khan. So at least I can be right.
I'm sticking with Brook.
I'm rocking with Amir Khan. He's too fast. Brook is not there. But I'm rooting for Kell Brook. I'm praying to God Kell Brook can win this fight.
I'm taking Brook.
You know, Brook's been kind of sad in the build up to this fight. Not gonna lie, the man legit asked for Khan's renegotiation during the gloves are off. I'm still going for Brook though. He did. He was complaining a lot about the contract of Brook. Complaining about the contract and stuff. We know his Khan's a diva.
Khan put all kinds of shit on it. That's why.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a confident fighter and you believe in what you say you do, you don't put all that bullshit in there. So, to me, I don't think he has enough confidence. He's talking a good game. He's getting into Brook's head. But at the end of the day, them brownies, the chocolate brownies are coming. Believe what I tell you.
So the straight right hand.
So knock him right, boom. And I like Khan. Don't get me wrong. I like his outside boxing. Very classy guy. I mean, I even love when he didn't shake his hand. I like that. You were making fun of me in my career for the last.
Yeah, listen, I'm praying to God that.
But then you want me to shake my hand when we take off.
I would love for Kell Brook to win the fight, but I don't know what it is, man. I just like I like what I'm seeing from Khan with being with Terrence Crawford. You know, being in Colorado.
Playing the mind games.
No, I mean, yeah, even that. Like he's got Kell wound up because look, if you if there was a video that came out on Sky Sports where they were talking, where these two guys were reflecting on their careers,
right?
And when Amir Khan talks about the fight that got away in his career, he says the fight that got away from me in my career was the Floyd Mayweather fight because he actually had a contract to fight Floyd. He signed the contract, but he announced it before Floyd, so Floyd felt some type of way about it, and then Floyd didn't fight him. Shit. So then he said to Floyd, Brook said the fight that got away was Khan, but now he got the fight. So I really feel like this fight means more to Brook than it means Khan. Yeah. And that could be a good thing, but I think in this case, it's going to wind up being a bad thing because he's too wound up.
Listen, so you probably gonna compare it to the Teofimo and Joe Cambosos with Teofimo, the way he came into the fight with Cambosos, when he was trying to tear him up like a lion and didn't do it.
Huh?
I said you're trying to compare him to the. You can look at it to the Cambosos and Teofimo Lopez when Lopez tried to go in and take Cambosos' neck and didn't do it.
It's different.
Listen, I'm telling you right now.
You can't compare any fight. Honestly, truthfully, you can't compare any fight in boxing to this fight.
Listen,
you can't compare no fight in boxing to this fight.
There's history here. I think Kell Brook is coming for the kill. Respect him. I like both fighters, but I've always liked Brook a lot
more. I'm with John. I don't know why. I just feel this way. He says Khan is training proper. Brook is just stunt. Like I actually feel Amir Khan has really, put the best campaign he possibly could have.
Because of the way
you don't go train with Terrence Crawford in Colorado Springs.
But if you're not serious.
And he looks great.
But Brook is shape too.
No, it's just different.
I'm going for Brook. I'm sticking with Brooks. I'll be eating a lot of chocolate brownies, win or lose.
But I'm moving Kell Brook. All the lights, Team Brook. But as far as my unbiased, objective,
he says that when he knows,
Dundada says, Tyler, what do you say to those fans that say Cholatito was a product of racist bias and he was never pound for pound number one reward? I would say to those people that they know fuck all about boxing and they should go follow cricket, croquet, or tennis because how could Cholatito not have been above Andre Ward when Andre Ward at the time Cholatito became pound for pound king of boxing because Floyd retired in he fought Berto in September of 2015. That was like his last fight, so to speak. And then he was elevated. So at that time, Ward wasn't even active. Ward. I mean, let me make sure I have my dates in order. I'm pretty sure Ward had only fought like Paul Smith at that time, if that. He was inactive for years. He was too busy suing his promoter, Dan Goosen, Joe Goosen's brother.
Yeah.
Let me see. Ward fought Paul Smith in June of 2020. So he had just got active in not 2020, June of 2015, I should say. He had just got active in 2015 when he fought on BET after a almost 2 year layoff against Paul Smith. His next fight wasn't until March of 2016. Meanwhile, Cholatito was blowing through the who's who of 112, being all the best people, most of the best people at that time. So you can't compare. If anything, I'm going to say it like this. If there was ever a guy in boxing over the last, aside from Floyd or Pacquiao, aside from them guys, if there was ever a guy that really cemented his place as number one for that time, it was Cholatito. Andre Ward hadn't been active. How can a guy who's been inactive for almost 2 years be the pound for pound number one in boxing? Ward didn't have one significant fight in boxing in his return until November of 2016, when he had already fought Sergey Kovalev.
Wow.
That was his first significant fight. He fought Alexander Brand in May of 2015. Then he fought Sullivan Barrera in March of 2016.
Right. Then
he fought Kovalev. So we're talking about from May of 2015 to November of 2016. We're talking about a year and a half until in between a big fight and coming off of a 2 year layoff.
And meanwhile,
so I would say they don't know shit about boxing. That's what I would say. Ward beat undefeated Sullivan Barrera. Yeah, but Sullivan Barrera wasn't really nobody at that time. He wasn't. Sullivan Barrera got his best wins after he lost the war. The win aged great, but at the time it wasn't looked at as a big win. I watched that fight. Brook is the real reason why people say Spence is ducking Crawford. It started with that win over Brook. Yeah, it did. It did, because that was the one time. That was like the.
What happened? I didn't get that. What he's saying that he's blaming Brook.
He's saying Errol Spence got a big head when he beat Kell Brook in the UK, and that's when he started to duck Brook, because that win did deserve credit. Like
right, it was a big right, but that doesn't mean that
that is when it really started, Hyro. Like it started around that time, around that time, or not too long after.
I just still think you still got to challenge yourself and fight the best.
Yeah, Kell Brook is thinking he's just gonna walk in there and give Khan a chocolate brownie. Well, I'll say this: look, Amir Khan is Amir Khan. All Kell has to do, in my opinion, all Kell has to do in this fight, unless Khan's gonna go back to being the Khan from the first 4 rounds of the Maidana fight and throw body shots. If he's the Amir Khan that we've always known, the basic 1-2 speedy fighter that he's always been, that guy shows up. All Brook has to do is just make sure he don't get touched with anything too big in the first 3 rounds. Once he does that, from rounds 4 to 7, he's gonna he'll have adjusted. He will have adjusted to the speed, and he's gonna get more than his fair share of chances to land those chocolate brownies. But the first 3 rounds are gonna be very key for him.
Yeah, and Brook just had to make sure that he didn't let Khan land on his eyes.
But Khan got to make sure Brook don't land on his chin.
Yeah, so it's crazy, but it's gonna be a great fight. The ones that win here is the UK fans, believe it or not.
Boxing fans
and UK fans.
We need to start giving Rashidi Ellis more attention. He's very talented and young. Golden Boy holding his career back. Yeah, he follows my Instagram. I gotta get him on here at some point. Yeah. Definitely shine some light on him, because Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy Promotions, and all parties involved. They're protecting all the Mexican welterweights that they got signed. Raul Correa, Virgil Ortiz, all them guys. They're protecting them. And I really think they're trying to keep him as inactive as long as possible, so they can demoralize him. And then when he mentally checks out, they're gonna try to use him to fight Virgil.
Get out that contract, go to another promotion company.
There you go. You're talking about like it's simple. Just get out the contract.
No, I'm saying I'm sure his time got to be up sooner or later. Get out of there.
These contracts last a long time. I know one fighter.
5 years.
I know one fighter. I'm not gonna say his name, but you know him too. I know one fighter who signed to a promoter here in South Florida for 8 years, and he just started his career.
Oh hell no!
And he's only like 22. I'm not gonna say his name here, but I'll tell you when it's over.
I know.
It's not that simple. These fighters.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying, okay, if you sign, he's been with Golden Boy. What? How long is she Rashid been with him?
I'm not even sure, to be honest.
Okay, so
does anybody know how long has Rashid actually been back with Golden Boy?
And how many fights has he actually got? How many fights has he literally got?
A lot.
Got with
because he's won 2 fights. They put him in there tough. I mean, they put him in there with the kid Eddie Gomez, who was supposed to be a top guy or a top young fighter at the time. They didn't think he was going to beat Eddie Gomez.
Right.
He knocked the fuck out of Eddie Gomez. Then they put him in there with Alexis Rocha. He beat Alexis Rocha easy. And he's already beaten two guys. They had some stock in. They don't want him to beat Virgil Ortiz or Raul Correa. They don't want those fights to happen.
Wow, but it's not fair for him.
And I like Raul Correa. Shout out to Raul Correa.
I'm sure they give him a paycheck every month or whatever. But I'm saying, like, at some point you want to fight some fights.
Did you see Blair Cobbs' interview on the Boxing Voice? The man is entertaining. I mean,
I love him.
I interviewed him myself, and he said the same thing before he was on the Boxing Voice. So I know he's very entertaining. I didn't watch the whole interview, but I seen some clips, and he pretty much said the same thing when I interviewed him. I want to see him. I want to see him get some fights.
Yeah, check out the interview.
Boxing needs more Blair Cobbs.
Yeah,
but if you haven't seen my interview with him, go check out mine if you haven't seen it already.
It came before all this came out.
Yeah. Didn't Jamel Charlo also have issues with Golden Boy? Yes, he did.
Did he?
Yeah, he did a lot.
Was it money though?
They couldn't get fights. Go. I hate to say it, man, but you got to call things for what they are. Like Golden Boy, if you're not a Mexican fighter, Golden Boy don't really give a fuck about you.
That's crazy, but
respect to him. God bless them. Hope he had a successful career in boxing. But it's the truth. You see a recurring pattern, you got to call it out for what it is. Khan was really with Al Heyman. Yes, he was. He was Al Heyman guy. I mean, when Khan fought Chris Algieri, they fought at the Barclays Center. That was a PBC card. Yeah, absolutely. He was Al Heyman. He fought Devin Alexander on Showtime. Mm-hmm. He fought who was the other guy he fought? He fought Alexander. He fought Algieri. He fought some good people with Al Heyman.
Yeah.
Al Heyman was out here
doing his thing.
He's doing his thing in his bag, getting Amir Khan paid. Shout out to all 32 of you in here. Make sure you smash that like button. It's your boy BT, the untouchable True School Sports Empire. If you guys have any more questions, let us know. We'll be here. Super chat you feel led to. John says that Kell Brook already looks drained.
You think so?
I don't know if he looks drained. I mean, not yet. He will later in the week during the weigh-in. Andre Ward is from the Bay Area. We talk about the same place as the D Train. That's right, Dontrell Willis. Shout out to Dontrell Willis.
Yeah.
One of my childhood heroes. You know,
You got his picture right there.
got his picture on my wall. You know, autograph picture on my wall. That's my guy, Dontrell Willis. One of my.
Yeah.
So it looks like Jamal Charlo's finally been released from jail. He's got a court date on March 28th. Ain't that sad?
Yeah.
He could have had a fight date, but he got a court date. In fact, let me show you guys. Let me show you guys so you can see for yourself. So he could have had a fight date. He could have been fighting Andrade. He could have been fighting Canelo. He could have been fighting someone, but instead of a fight date, he got a court date. You know, you guys see what happens when you duck fights and you have all this free time on your hands. You know,
What's crazy?
They say the idle mind is a devil's playground.
I know his brother was a lot crazier, but he's more crazier than his brother.
No, I think his brother just wants to beat up his opponent. But I think Jamel loves his wife, and plus Jamel Charlo got a beautiful wife. You seen his wife? He got a beautiful wife, lovely family. You know, he's not on the whole racism shit like Jamal is.
Jamal, you mean? Or Jamal?
No, Jamal's on the race. People got angry at Jamal because Wilder was talking about race or something like that, and then he went on his brother's live and said that race doesn't matter or something like that, and then everybody called him a coon and sell out to his own people.
Wow.
Because
so he got all kinds of shit.
But yeah, as you can see, you know, Jamel Charlo got a court date. You know, they found the $10,000 to bail him out. So shout out to him. But yeah, March 28th, you know, he beat Montiel, he beat Brendan Adams. Can he beat the state of Texas? We gonna see come March 28th.
Yeah, man. Hopefully get himself together and fight real people.
Yeah. Charlo would rather fight a case than fight another man. It do seem like it. It sure do seem like it, champ. Like
crazy. It's
unfortunate, you know, because you know I don't wish bad on nobody. Like I don't wish bad on nobody. Like it don't really do me any good to wish the next man bad. Because I wouldn't want anybody wishing bad on me.
Having a child in boxing because the big mouths and everything, I think makes boxing interesting. I might not agree with everything they do, but
I like the Charlos. Like
they talk and all this stuff.
When Jamal
characters like characters, that's what I'm calling
it. When Jamal knocked out Julian Williams, and then Julian Williams came to shake his hand, and he said, "I shake your fucking hand." I was all with that.
Yeah.
I was all with that. Hyro says, "I want to meet Sinisa. I want to make a laugh." You never meet Sinisa, champ.
He's so stupid.
We're not doing that, champ. Never.
Yeah.
Jamel Charlo once again having to carry the Charlo name because his brother has been lacking. Yeah, at this point, it's getting to a point where I'm gonna start calling Jamel Big Charlo. Jamel is Big Charlo.
Yeah, that's kind of
Jamal is Little Charlo.
You have you know, you got Derek James, and I don't even know who his trainer is. His trainer's not Derek James either.
Who?
Jamal's train's not Derek James.
Jamel's trained by Derek James.
Yeah.
Jamal's trained by Ronnie Shields.
Yeah. Okay, so there you go. At some point, they got to step up and tell me, man. You know, you can go towards in the boxing, but at the same time, I let them know they slow down and do your shit right.
Yeah. Shout out to my guy Jesus M. Jesus M says, "BT, how about John Ryder versus Canelo in the UK 2022?" I love that fight.
I would like to see that.
John Ryder is one of the best super middleweights in the world. I don't care what nobody says.
And like I said, Canelo's been wanting to go to the UK for a fight, so why not be with that one?
You know, and it'll be an entertaining fight. You know, Ryder is physically strong. He's every opponent I've ever seen John Ryder fight except Mike Guy.
Yeah,
he's pushed them all back. So it'd be good to see how Canelo does with a guy who's not taller. Because like if you look at his last three opponents, like Smith, tall and rangy, Plant, tall and rangy, Saunders, not as tall as those other guys, but still a taller ranger than Canelo. Ryder and Canelo. If you mean, there's a video you can see it where Ryder actually met Canelo. And you can see they're like eye level.
Oh, so that's good.
They're eye level. Their shoulder are about the same.
They're pretty much built, I think. Not much skill wise. We don't. Of course, Canelo's probably going to dominate, but I just the way Ryder fights his style and Canelo, it'd be a great fight.
Yeah, he's going to make him work. It's not going to be easy. I don't think we can.
No, it's going to be.
I don't think you can really complain. Like if Canelo fights Ryder and people complain, I don't think you can really complain about it because it's not going to be. He's fought Fielding and Yildirim.
Yeah.
And truthfully speaking, look, Ryder may not be as skilled as a guy like Caleb Plant or Saunders or those guys, but one thing I can say about Ryder that he's got that we found out that what's his name? Plant didn't have it in the back half of the fight, and Saunders didn't have it in the back half of the fight. He's a lot tougher than those guys.
He's got stamina.
You're joking. Ryder was rubbish. He won't go past 3 rounds. John, I'm gonna disagree with you, champ. I'm gonna disagree with you.
Hey, we all have our opinions.
You talking about John Ryder like he's fielding?
Yeah. Oh no way! Come on.
I know he lost the fielding on paper, but they robbed him.
Yeah, I don't think.
Come on, John. You've been watching Ryder for a long time. You know Ryder's been getting a bad run of luck.
Bad rap. Yeah.
You know he's better than his record indicates.
He finally got it right.
Yeah, early in his career, like he lost. He got stopped by Nick Blackwell early in his career. But fighters develop. Fighters do develop. Like, yeah, he lost Blackwell. He lost that dude Arnfield or whatever his name is.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, he's gotten better. Hey, give the man a chance.
Did we go to the undercard of the I'm gonna have to go to the Managerial fight? Did they have an undercard?
I haven't even checked it.
Oh,
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Had the chance for the 2 Charlo Rose to go undisputed in the same year. Sad.
Yeah.
But he didn't want it.
Yeah.
He's rubbish. Nah, John, I'm sorry. I disagree with you and everybody that says John Ryder's rubbish. John Ryder has been proving himself these last 3 years. He's been proving himself. He did it again this weekend. A lot of people wanted to sit here and cry robbery, but Jacobs checked out of that fight in the second round, looking at the ref, complaining constantly at the ref, trying to fight and referee at the same time, getting out boxed, getting his head snapped back, switching stances out of confusion, letting John Ryder bully him on the inside. John Collins says him and Conor Benn. Well, because him and Conor Benn are trained by the same guy.
Yeah.
Ben, the jury's out on Ben. I mean, I'm getting sick of Ben and this shit. Like Eddie Hearn and him today said that they don't want to fight David Benavidez, which I think really Benavidez should be the next logical step up. You fought all these 40-pounders. You're still trying to fight 40-pounders. Benavidez beat the shit out of Josh Kelly.
Yeah.
All right. I would
always say that Eddie Hearn was not gonna never put that fight up.
Benavidez versus Conor Benn for the European title is a fight that should have long been explored.
Right.
Eddie
Hearn don't want it.
But Eddie Hearn don't want to fight. He want to fight the light punching Chris Van Heerden. So that if he beats Chris Van Heerden, he could say he beat someone that Jerron Ennis couldn't beat when Jerron Ennis fought. Because when Jerron Ennis fought Van Heerden, the fight got stopped because of I think it was I can't remember if it was a head clash, but like the fight was a no contest. So if Ben beats Van Heerden.
You can't just
if he knocks him out, they're gonna go to the media.
Head clash.
They're gonna go to the media and say I banged him out and Boots Ennis couldn't. But then I bet you if Boots Ennis calls him out, he's gonna say I don't have enough experience because when I interviewed Conor Benn in America, in Las Vegas at City Athletic Gym, Conor Benn said it when I interviewed him. He said that he's not ready for the Virgil Ortiz, Rashidi Ellis, Jerron Ennis level.
He's a step up fight and gradually get up there. He even said.
But listen, I'm gonna tell you this: nothing. He'll never be ready for those guys. Never, because he's not willing to fight. If you're not willing to fight David Benavidez, when will you ever be ready to fight Jerron Ennis?
Yeah, you said that he's gonna trust his team and the public actually got on him. The UK public got on him because he can fight this 140 pounders. And they're like, well, why are you fighting all these 140 pounds? You're on 147, come right?
Yeah.
But what are you doing? He said, oh, no, my team. He came with the only. He said, oh, I trust my team. They know what they're doing. Okay.
Bro, Conor Benn beat the pound-for-pound best Chris Algieri. What are you talking about? He beat the shit out. Listen, Chris Algieri, I like Chris. He's a friend of the program. We see him train here in South Florida all the time. But Chris Algieri's been doing clinical nutrition and commentating. He's been 1 foot in, 1 foot out of boxing for years. Like
you can't really say like that.
He stays in the gym, he stays in shape, but he's not he hasn't been competing, under the lights.
So no, he got what's his name? He's got to bring it up. Ben got to bring it up.
That's why, for me,
you can't give
the more I see Conor Benn, the more I'm becoming a fan of Michael McKinson, because Michael McKinson, he doesn't get that special treatment. He's had to be tough. He had to take a tough fight against Chris Congo as the B side and won and schooled him. Now he's fighting one of the guys that Conor Benn should really be trying to fight in Virgil Ortiz. So I'm hoping McKinson give a good account of himself. And who knows? You never know. It's boxing.
Give more respectability to him.
McKinson, Conor Benn don't want no smoke. I hate saying it because I met him. He's a nice guy. I like him, but. Bro, Conor Benn doesn't want no smoke.
Nope.
With anybody.
He wants to get the old people, the old 140-pounders or whatever, and give credit to himself for the wins. You can't, honestly, if you're a fighter, how can you do that? I know boxing's like that all the time. They always get a lot of, if you're a casual fan, you don't know, you just think they're both on the same weight, but that's not how it goes sometimes. And the last couple of fights, opponents that Ben had, they all been not his weight. Simple as that.
Simple as that, man. So hopefully Conor Benn get his shit together because,
and what do you think about this heavyweight they see this weekend? Fisher. I mean, you think the next coming Tyson Fury? Tell me what I'm talking about.
So Pops is asking me, what do I think about Johnny Fisher, the Romford Bull? I think the Romford Bull is nothing more than a guy to sell tickets for Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn's okay with that.
He's okay with that.
He's gonna fight the Spanish heavyweight champion.
That guy was
11.
Yeah, that guy was.
Dude, it's horrible.
No, he was a Spanish champion.
I don't wish bad
with a 10-11 record.
I don't wish bad on
no.
Johnny Fisher. He comes across as a very nice guy.
Young guy.
He only had 10 amateur fights, so he's just learning on the job. And who am I to really shit on anybody's dream of wanting to become a fighter?
The whole fight,
but man,
the high guy
for all the hype we heard,
the high guy,
it was really underwhelming. I mean,
right hand,
Pops,
that was it.
It was so bad. I had to go get a Coke.
Yeah,
it put me to sleep.
Oh,
the car was good.
Yeah.
But it was because we had the Phillies cast out, which was really good.
Yeah, that was a good fight.
The Ellie Scott Lee fight, the girls fight was good.
Yeah, Courtney
but then this came, and I'm like, oh,
yeah,
really?
He said the thing is, it was. I was telling my son, I hope the hype is not better than the fight. I mean, shout out to him. He got the support. People like him, like he said.
He can still improve.
And he can still get better. But man, my God, he's got. In my opinion, he needs a new trainer.
They need to be careful with him.
I mean, he's up in the high guard doing this, and he's throwing the jab, then the overright the whole time. You predict that the whole fight. That's all he did. He had no other kind of move, no other way of fighting, anything like that. If he gets up there in other levels, he's going to get his ass whooped.
Oh, yeah. What I will say, too, about the Romford Bull is they need to be, and they being Matchroom, they need to be very careful with who they decide to match him with. Because if they decide, if they pick the wrong opponent, and listen, like, it could look right on paper, but, like, this guy is really basic.
My son made me laugh because he said half of the bus is 2000. They probably don't know shit about boxing.
They don't know shit about boxing.
They got a reason to go drink.
It's a reason to go drink and support the local lad from Essex.
I'm not saying I don't like. I just think that for the hype that they gave me through the whole thing, I was like, I'm done with this. Like, I need to see something big.
You're gonna listen. Well, the thing is, Pops, you better get used to seeing the Romford Bull because Eddie loves him because he sells tickets. And he's going to stick him on. Don't be surprised that Anthony. Do not be surprised. I'll make a bold prediction. Hold on. When Anthony Joshua fights like Usyk in a rematch at Wembley Stadium, don't be surprised that they put him on the co-main event or something.
Remember, I was doing the fight. I was telling you, man, imagine if Rhino and him will fight. Rhino will destroy him.
Yes.
If Rhino came out of retirement,
I love that fight.
David Allen will destroy him.
Dave Allen beat the shit out of the Romford Bull. Straight up. Who am I picking between Tyson Fury and Dillian White? I got Fury, but if Dillian White can land a left hook, it's
he wants more money. You know that? You see the article? He wants more money because he wants
the fight might not even happen. Lubin versus Fundura, that's a good fight.
I'm going for Lubin.
You picking Lubin?
Yeah, I think Lubin's been on a streak, and I think he wants that rematch with Charlo.
I'm going with Fundura.
Okay, I'm taking Lubin.
I think Lubin has stamina problems.
Still?
Mm-hmm.
You've seen him fight?
I've seen fights when
Which fight did you see that he looked like a little bad? He looked pretty good to me.
Terrell Boucher.
How many?
A lot of posing. The fight went 12 rounds. A lot of posing. Neither fighter throwing a lot of punches. I just feel like a fighter who pushes the pace on him with the size of Fundura is going to beat him. It's not going to look pretty. Like, we're not going to be sitting here calling Fundura a pound king like that. But I think Fundura will outwork him to a decision.
For real?
Yeah.
Damn. He been kicking ass, Brendan.
Huh?
He been knocking out people and kicking ass and taking names.
I wouldn't say he's been kicking ass, taking names. Me when he fought Terrell Boucher hurt him in the 12th round, but he didn't let his hands go the first 11.
Okay.
Zaru Abdullah versus Jorge Linares prediction. Who do you got? Is that at 140 or 135? If it's at 140, I got Abdullah. If it's at 135, give me Linares.
Is Abdullah any good?
Not really, but Linares sucks at 140.
He's an old man.
He got knocked out by Cano in one round. BT, I think you and Johnny can make me love Rolly even more. I want him to beat Tank. He has a fine sister. He beat Avery Sparrow.
Hey.
And he beat undefeated Jackson Mourinho. I thought he won that fight.
He's a true American, man. Rolly's a true American. I love him.
Real American patriot.
Oh, my
Stars
God.
and stripes, baby.
You can say whatever you want about Rolly, but he loves America.
Does Johnny Fisher have more potential than Campbell Hatton right now? That's a great.
Oh my God, that's a cover. I didn't think about that.
Now that's a great question. Who has more potential? Because they're both They're both pretty bad.
Oh my Lord!
Like Campbell Hatton is an extremely light punching, whatever weight class fighter he is. Still very much learning.
He's very in the early stage.
I don't know. I'll go.
Too much pressure on him, though. I think it's too much pressure on more so on a hand than it is Fisher. So I would think it's. I'm
gonna go with Fisher. You going hand? You gonna go hand? I'm going with Fisher. Because the reason I'm saying Fisher is because like heavyweights generally mature later, and the thing of Fisher is like he has things you can't necessarily teach. Like when he let his hands go and he landed punches on the Spanish dude, he's heavy-handed. You can tell the guy's heavy-handed.
Right.
It's just a matter of getting him comfortable in the ring.
You gotta get him.
I'm gonna go with Fisher, and John Collins agrees with me. He got Fisher.
You have to go ahead and get a better training than that. I'm sorry to tell you.
No one will beat Fundora at 154. Well, yeah, we'll see, man. Personally, look, I've always thought like being and Eric Slubin is he's not from South Florida, but he's from the state of Florida. He's from Orlando, and he's very hyped up here. Like, oh my God, if you guys knew how hyped up Eric Slubin was here in the state of Florida, it's ridiculous. Eric Slubin, he's always been overrated to me. You know, I'll be honest. I bought into the hype in 2017 with the Charlo fight. After that, never bought into it again. Never bought into it again. So, you know, and then, you know, me and him had some words back and forth. So that didn't do him no favors. But aside from personal stuff, I think he's good. I think he's a solid contender. But I just never, I'm not going to say I've never seen, but since he lost to Charlo and just seeing how he's developed in the years since, he's been beating guys like Smith and Severio Ortiz and Terrell Goucher and beating some good solid contenders. I can't take that from him. But I just don't see what like other people see in boxing. I don't see what people in Florida see. I don't see what Floyd sees in them. I don't see what people see in them. But I guess we'll see come April 9th when he fights Fundora.
Let me ask you one more question. We both. Well, I was really high on Cash, and I still like Cash, even though he won that fight. Or you say he actually the fight. We both.
Who are you talking about?
Cash. The other fought this past week. Felix Cash. I was high on him. I'm still high on him.
They better keep him away from Eubank.
They gave him a freebie. I always say every fight always gets that gimme fight, and that was a gimme fight for him. He should have lost that. And my son was telling him he got 2 knocks. Was it?
He got dropped twice and then a point taken away. And it's a 10-round fight. It's a 10-round fight.
Yeah.
Mathematically speaking, that's already a draw.
Yeah. So do you still have faith in him being a ranked fighter, or do you look at him differently now? I like him.
Cash is good. Cash is solid. I don't think Cash is as good as Johnny Beck. I don't think Cash is as good as even like a Falcao, to be honest.
Oh, wow.
But
that's saying a lot.
Cash is a good fighter. Cash is got a chance to get better from that. You know, we don't know. Like one thing I will say about Cash, I don't want to be too harsh on Felix Cash.
Yeah.
Like Felix Cash, one thing he has and one thing he did show in that fight, even when he got dropped, was his willingness to fight when things get hot. Right. And sometimes sometimes people get caught up with the skills and the power of a fighter. Sometimes all you need to be a champion in boxing is just the willingness to behave like a fighter when shit gets hot in there. That's why I like Ryder, because when shit gets hot in there, Ryder knows how to behave like a fighter.
Yeah.
Cash knows how to behave like a fighter. I think he should have got a draw or lost that fight this weekend, but you know, it is what it is. Maybe they can do a rematch. If not that, you know, we'll see how it develops. But I think Cash is going to be someone to reckon with in the 160 division, especially now when you got guys like Andrade moving out.
Yeah.
We don't know how long Charlo will be there. He's going to get his chance to prove himself. Yeah. John says, I like Cash. He's going places. So me and the gambler are in agreement.
Yeah. I would say
the towering Inferno, let's go. He's a contender. I hope he beats your fighter from Florida. Eric Slubin is not my fighter from Florida. He's from Orlando. He's not from South Florida. He's from Orlando. He's from where they got Disney and Universal Studios and Mickey Mouse. We don't got that. So don't call Eric Slubin my fighter. I don't even like Eric Slubin. Yeah. We're not even cool. To be honest with you, I haven't talked to him in years, but like the last time we talked, we didn't have a good interaction. So like, I'm not really a fan of him like that.
You think Otar's gonna get that fight, brother? Otar,
Chris Colbert? No, Chris Colbert already got his opponent.
Who got?
He's fighting a dude named Hector Garcia.
Is he good?
I don't know a ton about him, but he trained at Salas Gym.
Oh, I like Salas. Decent.
I don't know if Salas is his trainer. He just trains there.
Oh, okay, let's get it right. Yeah.
Why are you saying that Virgil Ortiz Jr. is being protected? When did I say he's being protected? All I said was that they're using I said that they're using Rashidi Ellis as a pawn for Virgil Ortiz. They're not because truthfully, look, if Virgil in a fair and just world where the fighters fight the people they're supposed to fight, he should be fighting Rashidi Ellis already. It should have already happened.
Yeah.
because they're on the same age. Same stable. But Golden Boy don't even want to match the same welterweights.
If you go to Brother's interview that he had with the matchmaker, he wanted to leave right away.
They wanted to leave. Like, I don't think Virgil was avoiding Ellis. I just think Golden Boy has big plans for Virgil, and they don't feel confident putting them in with Rashidi Ellis right now. And if they do, this shit make it happen. If he beats McKinson, make that shit happen next.
Yeah, but it's very clear that this fight with McKinson is a top fight for him.
I'm so glad Rosario left Chiro Perez. He beat Shinny J-Rock, but man, 2 straight knockout losses. I want to see him fight Carlos Adames.
No, I would love to see him.
Well, I gotta cut her off. The second time he got knocked out, he wasn't with Chiro Perez. The second time he got knocked out, he was with
I forgot who he was. He left Chiro.
But it wasn't Chiro Perez. He was with somebody else.
But I think
the second time he got knocked out, he was with Herman Caicedo.
Yeah,
he wasn't with Chiro Perez the second fight.
I would love him to stay with Chiro. I think he would do better off with Chiro, if you ask me.
Yeah. Can Subriel Matias become a champion at 140? He has the talent and the stamina to do it. Yeah, I like Matias. He's the only Puerto Rican fighter. He's like one of the only Puerto Rican fighters I like right now, honestly. Lubin is overrated. They round Nathaniel Gallimore and Fundora easily knocked out Gallimore. He beat the shit out of Gallimore. And I don't, for some strange reason, I don't remember the Gallimore Lubin fight. I do remember it happening, but I just don't remember watching it. So maybe I might got to put that one on my list of fights to go rewatch because, Gallimore, it looked like for a little bit of time, Gallimore was going to be something at 154.
Hey, but tell him about that guy that back in the day that resembles Ryder.
Huh?
The guy that resembles Ryder that this guy put you on point.
Oh, yeah. So what's crazy, right? A lot of people were crying robbery about Jacobs versus Ryder this weekend, right?
Yeah.
And I was talking to this dude on Facebook. I forgot his name, but shout out to him. He put me onto this fight from the 90s. I never heard him. And I've never heard anybody talk about it. But he was telling me about this fighter from the 90s. I want to see if anybody out there knows who this is. James Toney. After James Toney had beat Michael Nunn, which was a great upset. He beat Michael Nunn, knocked him out. Then he had the fight with McCallum, which was a draw that people thought he won. And then he had a voluntary defense against a little known contender from Delaware named Dave Tiberi. Tiberi was a light puncher. Dave Tiberi was a guy that really hadn't been able to get over the hump against the significant names on his career to that point. He had struggled with club show opposition. And the guy was telling me that John Ryder and Dave Tiberi are very similar as far as their styles because, as boxing fans, we all have our preconceived notions of what a world championship fighter should look like. A world championship fighter should be a big puncher. He should be fast. He should have great defense, all these things. But then you get a guy like, let's say, John Ryder, who's fought at that world championship level against like Callum Smith, who really should have been a world champion. And he's not the fastest guy in the world. He's not the hardest punching guy in the world, but he's physically strong and he grinds you down. And sometimes people don't appreciate that style. And so this guy was telling me that Dave Tiberi was the same as John Ryder. So I went ahead and I watched this fight with James Toney and Dave Tiberi. And going into the fight, fight was such a mismatch on paper,
right?
That you couldn't even bet on the fight. Like there was no betting line for the fight.
Oh my god!
That's how much of a mismatch this was looked at to be. And Dave Tiberi, he took the fight right to James Toney, got right in his chest.
Small guy, just like Ryder.
Beating the piss out of James Toney.
Same style like
James Toney huffing and puffing out. James Toney got bailed out. He should have got stopped in the fight. He got bailed out because in the 6th round. Tiberi was wearing Cleto Reyes gloves, and I guess he hit him, and something had happened with his gloves where like the part of the glove, like the actual like padding of the glove came off.
Wow!
So they had to actually change his gloves in the middle of the fight.
That's crazy.
And this gave Toney like a 5 to 7 minute rest while he was getting his ass kicked.
Right.
Then the fight started, and Dave Tiberi just kept doing what he was doing before.
Wow.
And Toney didn't want to be in there, and years later, when they interviewed Toney actually admitted he lost to Dave Tiberi.
Oh, wow.
So Dave Tiberi should have been the IBF middleweight champion, and they robbed him from that. So he was like the way he fought, the way he fights is just like John Ryder. He's not as stocky as John Ryder, but like same way. Light punching guy, somewhat physically strong, but pushing James Toney back in there, grinding them down, working those hands
and
free.
The whole point of the story is that boxing doesn't know how to deal with styles like that.
They don't know how to. People don't like
a certain way.
Yeah, they perceive champions to be a certain way, and when you get somebody who fights a style that's effective and doesn't fit the bill of what a champion should be, they don't, you know, they don't get the credit they deserve. So that's why, like, for me, like that was like I actually learned something about boxing, which is always great.
Yeah.
By the way, shout out to you know, longtime viewer and one of the most loyal viewers we have here on True School Sports, Doris. Shout out to Doris for the super chat. And you guys know when the super chats come out, so does Don King. So Don King, talk to him.
Hey everybody, let's have some fun. You don't live but once, and when you're dead, you're done. So let the good times roll. It don't matter whether you're young or old. Let the good times roll.
Yeah, let the good times roll and let them roll. We will here on True School Sports. Doris says, "What's up, BT and Pops? Happy belated birthday." Thank you, Doris. I really appreciate it. 27 years young. You know what's crazy, Pops? I've been here on YouTube so long. I really feel like life's just getting started now.
Yeah,
like we haven't even really like hit the pinnacle or come close to the pinnacle of where we should be. So, you know, I appreciate it, Doris. I appreciate everybody who took the time to reach out to me this weekend and call me and text me. You know, I didn't get back to everybody, but I do appreciate it. Everybody. BT, on UFC, people said the guy who won got a good decision like John Ryder, but he actually won the fight. Yeah, I saw that. And it is what it is, man. People, you know, I didn't see that fight. I don't watch UFC.
Go watch Johnny Boy Boxing. He follows all that stuff. He has his own live on that, and he can clarify all that stuff. He has UFC and boxing. It's a good channel.
Yeah. Hyro says, BT is 21 old, man. I feel old. Listen, man. Listen, I was 21 not too long ago. I was 21 6 years ago. And I'll tell you this, man. And this goes to anybody who's young or older than me. It's all a state of mind. Like I have a friend who's 30. And he tell me he feels old and whatnot. And I told him 30 is not even old. Like 21 isn't old. 30 is not old. It's all about your perspective. If you feel old and you're 21, well, that's on you. Maybe it's in your mind, and maybe physically you feel old because maybe you're not in the best shape. Mm-hmm. You know, and the people that tell me this normally tend to not be in the best shape. So you should probably work on your health and get that in order, because you know that's the most important thing. But 21 isn't old. It's only old if you're comparing yourself to other people. Because I remember when I was 21,
just be you,
and I didn't really have as much going for me as I do right now. Yeah. And you know, I used to make the cardinal sin of comparing myself to others. But just then somewhere along the way, I realized, I'm the untouchable, man. Like ain't nobody. There's only one BT.
Harold, you be who you are.
There's only one BT. I can't compare myself to the next one because they ain't me.
Do whatever you do for yourself and make yourself happy, and that's all that counts.
That's all that counts.
They have this Spanish popular rapper. His name is Farruko from Puerto Rico. And he's big. Like we're talking about
Farruko. It's Farruko.
He's a rapper from Puerto Rico.
Okay.
Big. And he just came. He had a concert the other day. I was watching on Instagram. And lo and behold, he surprised the fans.
What did he say?
He came outside preaching about Christ and everything.
About Jesus?
Yeah, and he was saying that he had a dream about it, and that he said that all the material things and everything I had, and comparing me to everything, doesn't mean nothing in life. He says, what means in life is having Christ in my heart, in my media family, and being who I am, and stop comparing myself to my point. So what's my point to you, Harold? Be who you are. Get yourself where you want to be at. Yeah. Do not worry what other people think about you.
That's it.
Because you know what?
You know, every day.
From a famous quote that my son always tells me about.
What do you tell me?
Did I tell you one? What's the famous quote?
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. What's that movie?
A Bronx Tale. A Bronx Tale.
Nobody cares.
There you go.
You worry about you. Get yourself right. And that's all that matters. You only make yourself feel who you want to be.
That's it, man. That's it. It's like you can't. That's not just for Harold. That's for anybody of any age. Like you know, we all have goals and aspirations. Like, look, you know, it's crazy. Like people tell, I get nasty comments on here every single day. People say, "Fuck you," go delete your channel, this, that, and the third. But you know what? It got to a point where I had to say to myself, you know what? I can't compare myself to anybody because there's only one BT. There's only, you know, God allowed me to accomplish some great things here on True School Sports. And just so long as I have air in my lungs, I'm gonna continue to do so.
As long as you know what your dream is and what you want to get to, do what you want to do, that's all that matters.
Absolutely. We got another super chat. Shout out to my guy Chance. By the way, if you guys got any questions about boxing, let us know. But shout out to Chance with the $5 super chat. And again, he's telling you guys, you know, when the super chats come out, so does Don King. So Don King, talk to him.
Hey everybody, let's have some fun. You don't live but once, and when you're dead, you're done. So let the good times roll. It don't matter whether you're young or old. Let the good times roll.
Shout out to you, Chance, with the $5 super chat. He says, "It doesn't matter if you're young or old. Let the good times roll." What's up, Pops? He wants to know what's up.
I'm doing pretty good. I feel a lot better now. I got my disability in my heart. I'm a lot more tired, but again, you have to work over and overcome. What you got to do is just be blessed and thank God for everything you got, and thank you for being here.
Absolutely. And, I thank God all the time that I got great people like you guys here to watch the channel. We don't always agree on anything when it comes to boxing, and we shouldn't. But
life would be boring if we did.
Life's gonna get a lot better here on True School Sports.
Yeah,
I mean, March 2nd, I'm leaving for San Diego. I'm going to the Cholatito fight, and we're gonna start a crazy run of going to fight. So right now we're just chilling. Like I'm trying to tell everybody, I'm warning everybody, like we're just chilling right now. Come March 2nd, to whenever I get back to South Florida. Yeah. From that time, we're gonna be making a lot of great content, interviews, world-class interviews. So just stay tuned for that. Life is too short to be worrying about such trivial things. Absolutely. Like we got too much shit going on to worry about, trivial things. So Hyro, just take it day by day. Yeah. Does Canelo duck a lot? Now look, I'm trying to listen. This year I'm trying to not talk bad about Canelo.
Let it be.
He's done some things in the past that I don't agree with, that I believe could be classified as avoiding fighters. It is what it is, man. Everyone has their prerogative to run the careers how they want. I think he should have fought Andrade and a couple other fighters, but it is what it is.
Marshall on the go, who you got?
Huh?
Marshall on the go, who you got?
Oh, Savannah Marshall and Shields?
Yeah,
Shields.
You are freaking
You USA, baby.
She got no knockout power. She got no speed.
The rib dinners. No. The pro style. She's evolving, champ.
No, bro.
Clarissa Shields is evolving.
She has no power.
You're going to find out. When it's too late.
Yeah, that's the plant thing. No, she doesn't have no power. She's not going to beat a Marshall. I don't know. Back you up.
Yeah, Rob Calico, he's getting wild here, Chad. This is a Christian show. He says, True School of Pops, are y'all going to run a train on Hooter Studies for Valentine's Day? No, absolutely not, Chad. We're not doing that, Chad. We're saving ourselves, sir. We're saving ourselves for our future wives, sir.
Serrano or Taylor?
Who I think's going to win?
Yeah.
Katie Taylor. Okay. Nah, we got Minnesota. I'm picking Serrano.
I'm a big fan of Serrano because she's from Puerto Rico and she's got her stuff. But I just think people, they say that Katie Taylor have a personality, but when she puts those boxes,
she just goes about her business.
Yeah, okay, I like that.
Why does every fighter? Everyone's like,
they said.
Everyone's like, oh, well, this fighter don't got a personality. That fighter don't got a personality. Did it ever occur to some of you guys that some fighters don't give a fuck about none of this and they just want to fight
and go home?
They just want to fight and go home.
Yeah, I think I'm going for Serrano, but I think Katie Taylor's going to take it because people are doubting her already.
Yeah. Chance says, that's right, sir. Just keep on going. Glad you're doing good.
Thank you. God bless
you. Absolutely. Hey, Chance. I know you from Dallas, and I know you might see him there. If you go to a Spence fight, you might be there. Chance.
We'll get to meet each other.
I get to meet each other, but yeah, man. Let's talk a little bit about this Munguia Demetrius Ballard fight, Pops, because I think Demetrius Ballard's really up against it in a major way this weekend. Like Ballard, 2012.
Is he like a
U.S. Olympic alternate? Good fight, good amateur. Hasn't really done shit in the pros, if I'm honest.
Right. But what is he going to bring to the table?
He's going to bring a good set of amateur skills.
Yeah.
He don't really punch out. He got average punch power at best. He needs to go in there and throw combinations.
So he's not ranked at all, basically.
He might be ranked. I'm not sure if he's ranked, but
do you think McGee has to come out?
If he don't knock McGee out in Mexico, he's not getting no decision.
Oh yeah, we know that. But on the other side of the coin, what's McGee got to do to improve?
McGee, what I want to see from McGee in this fight, because he's fighting a guy who doesn't have a ton of pop. I want to see the continued evolution of McGee. I want to see Munguia's power jab on full display. I want to see Munguia continue to show that he's more than just a come forward, seek and destroy Mexican fighter. Like, still be that guy, but don't.
Do you still think that Golden Boy got a plan to be a next star of Golden Boy?
Yeah, they're gonna move him carefully, very, 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 very.
But not the next star.
Not the next star.
Wow. How about that?
You see, Texas. Hyro says Texas is lame, man. It's dead sand. It's the Costco. Quantity isn't better than quality. Hyro don't like Texas at all.
Why?
But you know what, Hyro?
Hyro, you might get you a beautiful woman from over there for you.
Hyro's gonna say, hell no, I'm moving to LA.
Yeah, but don't matter.
He'll pick her up in the new truck he got. He got a new truck recently.
Harold?
His dad got on the truck.
Oh, go Harold! You know, goes like trucks, Harold. You know what I'm talking about, Harold? Yeah.
Hopefully so. By the way, I got Amanda Serrano stopping Katie Taylor in 7 rounds. I mean, I think she should, but you know, it's leaving a bit of a sour taste in my mouth because Amanda Serrano's over here trying to act like she wants to fight 3-minute rounds. She doesn't want to fight 3-minute rounds because they would have negotiated in the contract. It's all virtue signaling BS. And Katie Taylor, I'm glad she didn't give into it because she's not being played for a fool.
She stood her ground.
John Lejeune says, "Pops, how many champions has Andrade fought? How many champions has Canelo ducked and avoided?"
Oh my God, yeah.
Jean Lejeune. Every time I see Jean's name, Jean don't talk about nothing but for a fighter that you guys don't care about. You guys sure like to mention Andrade a lot.
But God bless you. Yeah.
Because you know sometimes, Pop, we go live, and we're not even talking about Andrade. If you mention Andrade
tonight, we talking about. They've been talking about it last.
No. Well, the live was about Andrade.
Yeah.
We're talking about other stuff now. See.
It's all right. It's all good.
Charlie keeps saying this. At your age, Nelson became a father. He did. And I'm probably going to be at least about
Charlie, you keep saying that.
You keep bringing it up, Charlie. Charlie, last time you brought it up.
Yeah.
We started talking about other stuff.
God bless you, Charlie.
You didn't like it, but so don't bring it up.
Yeah, you encourage me.
The way it's going, I'm probably going to be about 4 to 5 years older than my dad.
Yeah,
maybe 6, 7.
Got the Lord in him and everything. God bless him. God bless you, Charlie, for being who you are. I'm going to say, we're talking about the trade card now.
G59 says, Canelo ducked Makabu.
Oh, my God.
I'm glad. And if there was ever a time, if he did, I'm glad. Thank God.
I got all this shit turned out the way it did because we definitely wanted to see that.
Why do they even want so much more to fight Andrade? Has Benavidez even made $1 million in a fight, BT? I think the most, from what I can remember, I'm gonna look really soon. I'm gonna look and see if Benavidez made more than $1 million. I'm sure he's touched 1.5 at some point, but they want that kind of money because it's a dangerous fight. These managers and promoters have their own plans and roadmaps of things they want to do for their fighters. And, you know, if Andrade beats him, that ruins the whole plan. So if it's going to ruin the whole plan, they want to make sure they get compensated for it. But you know what? Let's look for ourselves, man. Because I actually don't know how much Bennett. I don't really care about fighter pay like that.
Yeah,
as far as like what they make. I just want to see the fights.
Yeah.
But then Benavidez purse. Let's see if we can find some purses for this guy. See what kind of money this man is touching. You know,
I forgot how
he earned $1 million against Anthony Durrell. He earned like 2 against. See, Kyron Davis. He earned $2 million against Kyron Davis.
Yeah.
Benavidez ain't touching money like that. I mean, he's making more money than me. But I'm saying like,
God bless
he's
him.
He's not touching those $7 million type of money. So
yeah, that's not even him. That's the again the manager. You know, he's the one doing that. Hopefully they can do something about that.
Charlie says you need a haircut. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Both do. You're right.
You know, might have to go with the baldy soon.
Yeah,
where we going? And Andrade and Eubank would be a good fight. That would be a good fight. If Andrade come back down to 60, it'd be a good fight. You know, Eubank's coming off a good win against a guy that Andrade beat. So I'm all for Eubank versus Andrade. I'm not against it at all. You know, I want to see these fights happen. I'm a boxing fan. You know, and I think anybody who watches this channel, you know, I would hope that you guys are boxing fans too, and you guys want to see these fights too, because you should want to see these fights happen the way I want to see these fights happen. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But look, think we covered about everything we wanted to cover today.
Yes, good night. Thank you so much.
Is there any? I'm gonna stay for like 5 minutes and see what happens. But you guys got any more questions before we end the live, or before we think about ending the live? Is there anything else you guys want addressed? Joshua Buatsi versus Canelo. Definitely Canelo. I mean, Buatsi's good, but Buatsi's not. He doesn't have that experience to deal with Canelo left.
I see him fight Yardy. The same division. That
fight's not gonna happen either, because Yard's probably gonna fight the winner of Smith versus Beterbiev.
Aren't they the same weight class though?
Yes, but Yard's gonna fight the winner of Smith versus Beterbiev. Okay. That's gonna be the next fight. But Buatsi's good. I think he's got a good style, but he needs a lot more experience to be dealing with the top guys. Can Catterall give Taylor any problems? I mean,
ain't a good fight this weekend. I don't think so. He don't give no problems with Taylor.
I don't think so.
That last name I got, shit.
But I'm not asking about your last name. I'm asking about your style.
No, I think he's gonna make it. It's gonna be a good fight, but I don't think he's gonna go in and dominate Taylor. There's no way. There's no way. You got
in that fight? I mean, I've seen Catterall fight. Unlike most people, I've seen Catterall fight. I think he fought. I think I seen him. Did he fight? I think he fought Lewis Ritson at one point. Good fighter. I think he's a good fighter, fringe contender, but he's outgunned by Taylor. Taylor's gonna have to really have a bad day at the office for him to win. That's what I think. Coming up. But you never know. Yeah. You never know. Yeah. What's up, bro? Chucho's brother reporting. Chucho Melendez. Chucho Melendez. Who? Chucho who? Pops. What's your favorite fight in this era? They want to know.
My favorite fighter in this era?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna say
no favorite fight that's taking place that you've seen in the recent era of boxing.
Oh, I like a lot.
Recent. What's one that sticks out?
I like the Wilder Fury fight. The third trilogy.
The third fight?
Yeah, I like that fight too. I love that fight. I like that fight. I like there's a lot of fights that we've seen this year.
Did you like Johnny LeBron for Bull versus Spanish champion?
Hell no.
The Spanish heavyweight champion.
The one in Fury was a good fight for me. The Oscar Valdez and Belchel fight I also liked. Oscar Valdez the shit up Belchel.
Chocolatito versus Quadras and Chocolatito versus Estrada too.
Yeah.
Back in the day, old school, fought against each other to show who was the best. Who cares who's getting the big money? Let's help each other out.
That's right.
That's what humble fighters used to do. Nebraska. Yeah, shout out to Ron Sizzle.
Yeah. Shout out to you.
Shout out to him, man. You know, Terrence Crawford, one of the best pound for pound.
Nebraska's son. That's right. You're proud of that man. Yeah.
Charlie says, when are you coming to Dania Beach? Man, hopefully soon. It was supposed to be this week.
Yeah.
Something came up. We can't make it. So I don't know, man. I honestly couldn't give you an answer, Charlie. Hopefully soon. But put on the Don King. You know what you gotta do to get Don King.
Crazy, brother.
You know what you gotta do. Will you do live on Saturday? I'm going live twice on Saturday. We're going live for Brook, and we're going live for Ballard versus Munguia. So you know it's gonna be a busy, long day.
Yep.
Taylor will put up a good show. Catterall's too slow. I think so. And then this guy said, "Yes, I'm Luis Melendez's brothers. Your videos are awesome."
Yo te bendiga.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know that Luis Melendez's brother was subscribed to me. So I learned something different.
Bendiciones a ti y a tu familia. Y Melendez va a ser campeón en todo Puerto Rico y Colombia, yo creo.
Rio asked a great question, and this is a question I've been getting a lot over the last year. BT, will you ever move from South Florida? LOL. If I do, the only place I'm going to move to is probably Las Vegas. No, never. Fuck no. The only place I would go to is Las Vegas because that's where all the boxing is. Yeah. But what I want to do, and it's going to take me a long time. It might take me some time to do this, but what I'm trying to do, I'll keep it to myself. I'm going to stay in South Florida. Yeah. I'm going to stay in South Florida. I don't want to disclose too much what I'm trying to do, but for the time being, no. But eventually, I like to. Maybe get a place in Vegas. But this is where my heart is.
He'll ever leave Dania, Florida. Right now, here, but he doesn't heart with his heart attack.
When can we expect to see Angelo Leo back in the ring? I talked to him the other day. I don't want to get too deep into what we discussed. I did ask him when he's fighting again. From what he told me, making an educated guess, I'm thinking he'll be fighting at least before May. Yeah. On a big card, but I don't know what card. It could be any PBC card. It could be any one of those cards. It could be Spence Ugas. It could be Castaño Charlo. We don't know, but he's staying in the gym, staying ready for whenever he gets the call. He's right now negotiating with his promoter to see who his next opponent is going to be. So we'll see what happens for Angelo. But Angelo's a big part of this channel. We love Angelo Leo, and when the news breaks or he wants to break it, we'll have Angelo come on here and talk to us. I really thought he was going to be Fulton. Yeah, join the club. And you know what? Who knows? Fulton's going to be at 126. Angelo's going to go to 126. It was the first fight was really, really good. They're both really awesome fighters. Yeah. I'd love to see a rematch if they both can continue to get some wins together.
Yeah.
What do you think? A rematch at 126?
I would love to see that. I would love to see that. I think Angelo Leo, everybody learns from when they lose and they get more hungrier. And, stay hungry to become champion again. Boston
Jorge says, Macabo has the same WBC Cruiserweight Championship belt that Evander Holyfield had.
Boy. Yeah.
People just say anything these days.
Yeah.
I mean, he did. Technically, he did. He's not lying. It's just funny.
The way you said it, yeah.
Do you think Benavidez is scared of Andrade? I don't think Benavidez is scared of Andrade. I think his manager and promoter, Sampson. I think Sampson is scared of Andrade. I think Benavidez will take the fight, but this isn't like a new thing. This isn't something that's like we should be surprised by. Sampson Lukowicz is the same guy that blocked the Caleb Plant unification last in 2020. He didn't want to make that fight happen when it was supposed to happen. So that's why Caleb Plant got the Canelo fight and Benavidez got left in the dark.
Yeah.
But I don't think Benavidez is scared of Andrade. I think Sampson Lukowicz is scared of Andrade. But it looks bad on Benavidez. It reflects badly because now for people like myself that say that all these guys are ducking Andrade, it now looks good on people like me. Yeah, so they should make the fight happen.
At least Benavidez came out, like I said, after an hour afterwards, and he, begged, not begged, but he stated that Matchroom Eddie Hearn should make the fight.
Yeah. Rio says Angelo Leo versus Danny Roman or Raif Salim would be fire, and those would be great fights. We had what was it on the what card was it? What card was it? We were live on the Eubank Williams card. Raif Salim's assistant coach is actually subscribed to the channel. Shout out to Coach Bobby. Bobby was here watching the live with us, and he was talking about making that fight happen. And that's a fight that Team Alim wants. So hopefully we make it happen, Is William Zepeda on the Magia undercard? Yes, he is. I don't know who his opponent is, but William Zepeda, I did see that he is on the undercard. William Zepeda, making his way up the 140-pound rankings. A lot of people are high on him.
Zepeda fighting somebody good?
William, not Jose, William.
Oh, I'm getting the brother. Okay.
I don't know if they're not related.
Okay.
Mike Tyson should buy Don King Productions for the logo like Snoop Dogg did Death Row, and Floyd should buy Top Rank.
Power to them, Harold.
I'm not mad at Andre for moving up bigger fights. I'm not mad at Andre for moving up for bigger fights. No reason to keep fighting mandatories at this point. Nah, I mean what? Because then people are going to say he's beating nobody. So you got to try to pursue the big fights. Even though something tells me he still won't get opportunities at 168, he's going to retire undefeated. He's gonna retire undefeated. Yo, the funny thing, the funny and fucked up thing is, you guys like these big name fighters who would have a chance to beat him aren't gonna fight him, and he's gonna fight these like mid-level contenders, beat them all, and retire undefeated. And y'all gonna will let Andre get out of boxing undefeated.
And Brandon says every time Andre moves to a different weight class,
it's on lockdown.
The dominoes.
I told Pops. He's at 168 now. I told Pops before any of this happened. I said, now that he's at 68, the division's going under lockdown quarantine.
And 160 is going to do everything now.
And 160 is going to stop moving now.
And what happened?
Sure enough, that's what happens. So, you can't beg these guys to fight. They don't want to fight.
It's crazy, but it's true.
They don't want to fight. Mm-hmm. But listen, guys, on that note, I'm going to start the process of wrapping it up. Before I wrap the live up, let me just say this. We're going to be live twice on Saturday. 2 live fight reactions: Kell Brook versus Amir Khan, as well as Balor versus Munguia. So don't make no plans. Make sure you guys definitely take the time to join us and interact with us as the fights take place. So look out for that. Look out for all the content that will be coming out on the channel, because there are videos scheduled to come out. I'm gonna make some videos tonight before I go to sleep. Okay. And there's also been videos that have already dropped today. So if you missed any videos, go back and watch them. Yeah. Comment on them, keep supporting the channel. The march to 40,000 continues. It doesn't matter how fast we get there, how slow we get there, as long as we get there. Yeah. So that's what we're doing. Slow and steady wins the race. Thank you so much. Longevity is what we're striving for here on True School Sports, and that's what it is. Any final closing messages possible before we end the live?
I appreciate everybody here. Have a blessed night. Keep supporting the channel in any way you can. And like I say, we're only going to strive to get better. Slowly by slowly, we're climbing the mountain, but we can't do it without you guys. So God bless you.
So God bless you guys. We'll be live again tomorrow around like 8 p.m., 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll schedule it so you guys will see it. So, see you guys tomorrow. Make sure you guys take care. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys.